Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is pretty safe to say that the Jenazad, the 7 out of 10 situation, has gone on for quite a bit of time. And part of it is due to the fact that, well, it appears that Jenna is somebody that's continuing the narrative.
Qualities.
Look, if people want to, they can keep harping about the whole thing, but then they're just literally proving everything I said was correct.
So he still thinks he's right after the entire matter. Just like in all of the other dramas, all of the other situations before, he's got an ego. He can never do wrong. And what I decided to do on stream today was actually break down how this ego has caused me so many problems in my content creation career. And what better way to discuss this topic than with other CCs. So I know this video is long, but I feel like it really gets into a deep discussion for kind of like the health of the space, why CCs are acting a certain way, and should leave you all with a question in the back of your mind. Why is Jenazad mad at me when I've never done anything to prompt his anger in the first place? Enjoy. Your prison bed isn't made. Shut up, it is. That's why you see covers. You see covers next to my stuff. Hello?
Can I ask a question? Why do you have the same duvet cover every single day? I don't think you've changed it in like 7 months.
Because it's a nice cover.
Okay. I assume you have multiple, right?
I do wash it, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm just checking. Sorry, I just watched your video about everything. And I just really kind of wanted to know from like your own perspective of like, do you think like genuinely like a repair of like a relationship, or at least to the point where like y'all both aren't like slinging stuff at each other in a way is kind of like possible? Like what has to happen for you for that to be the case?
Well, this is the thing, right? You just have to think about where I was kind of heading on into the situation in the first place. Like when we had our first little spat on when we had our first little spat on stream 7 months ago. You kind of have to ask yourself, right? Why is he so mad? Why was he trying so hard to be like that much of a dick? And like what reason was there for that in the first place, right? Just imagine like the first time you ever interact with somebody, right? You find out that they're literally their only purpose on a call is to lie about stuff to try to prove you wrong. Right, that's literally all he did during the Gacha cast, right? Like try to counter every single point that I was making in every single way possible, even going so far as to just spread literal misinfo about a game nobody played at the time to reinforce his points, right? That's my first ever interaction with him, ever. And then the second interaction is me finding out from watching his VOD, right? Viewers are telling me that he's talking shit about me in his VOD the day after the Gacha cast, right? And then I see him going over, seeing the thumbnail of my vid, summarizing my video, and then talking shit about my content to his audience. This was all in the span of 3 days. Our first interaction ever.
So you feel as though that this was like an undeserved like slight at the very beginning of everything. Like someone already had like a preconceived notion of you before you had the opportunity to like actually get to know them as a human being.
Absolutely, right? That's our first, second, and third interaction ever, right? Second interaction, seeing him on stream, and then the third interaction is him crashing out on my chat, right? Freaking out over the most... I mean, you clearly saw the comments that caused such an angry... I mean, this is the thing, right? We crashed out that much over Frozen Rain, and getting told we're dumb for having a near maxed out Echo. Because, well, this is the thing, right? People were calling him dumb because it's like, okay, if you have a maxed out Echo thing, you're clearly not using the fucking combiner. And so they're calling him dumb for not using the combiner and then complaining about how much echoes he had, right? It's just like a very like natural thing. It's like crashing out over that, and then you look back at the current and it's like, well, doesn't it make a lot of sense that we crashed out that hard from like fucking being told that we weren't paying attention to the story? When we literally weren't, right? There's multiple, there's clips of it in my Glaive react where I just go over it, and bro is just like straight up talking about designing an AI to react for him during one of the most pivotal cutscenes in the quest. Like he just like in the middle of dialogue, he's just talking about making an AI to react for him because he got tangented by chat. So it's kind of just like, I've seen this guy just like freak out for no fucking reason over all of my shit. And then I just go ahead and this is the thing, right? Something I didn't mention in this video, and it's something that everyone knows has happened, right? he would constantly, passive-aggressively, talk shit still. On stream, anytime, like, you know, something like React content, anything like that would come up, call them slop creators, all of that. You can find offense to it if you want. I think it's naturally an offensive thing to say, to sort of just, like, summarize people's content as slop. That's just my point of view, right? When that's happening, and all we've had are negative interactions with each other, and then every time I call out, wait, this guy's being, like, kind of a fucking, like, let's just be honest here. The term that I would use is, like, a little bitch. The guy's just been a little bitch for, like, the longest time.
Right.
And it's like, I called out the behavior, and then we have so many people coming to defense. And the thing is, it's like, I'm over here in the position of, I have only been fucked over by this guy for literally no reason. As far as I'm aware, I have never done a single thing to him. Ever at that point. Right? And now this guy's just being super aggro, talking shit constantly. And then the one time I call it out, right, we're at the point where, like, I'm basically just getting brigaded and mass reported. Naturally, right, the feeling on my end is, like, very imbalanced. This guy, to me, sounds like somebody who never has any actual consequences for the bad shit that he's doing. He's literally just, like, spitting venom at every opportunity. And I'm just like, okay, bro, like, what have I done to you?
I definitely understand that you have, like, very valid reasons of, like, things that you've brought up in the past for you to feel slighted. And I totally get how that can make you feel as though you're batted to a corner of, like, how do I get this person who, I don't know, for no, unpromptedly seems to have, like, an issue with me. How do I get this kind of thing to stop? And the way to do that, I can understand, is to, like, address it and get it out there of, like, I think these are the reasons why this person's trying to, like, do XYZ. But do you think that in doing that, and sometimes saying it maybe, like, in the way that you do, that could be, like, kind of pointed, right? Like, if we're calling someone, like, a little bitch, like, do you think that that's, like, but do you think that's going to, like how do we get from, like, understanding your valid criticisms to, like, making someone understand their wrongs in a way that they're going to be receptive to?
I've already done my fair share. You would remember, right, that there were multiple gacha casts that I was on after the start of the year, like, think about, like, January, February, where I actually went ahead, right, and I was extremely cordial at every single opportunity, right? Super cordial on all the calls with him. Still, even with this history, right? We would be on gacha cast together, and he would still be trying to hone in on every single thing I'm saying. Even when I'm just, like, Jay chillin'. It's like, bro made it, like, his obsession during these calls to just try to, like, shoot down every single thing that I was saying. Straight up. On all of those gacha casts. And I'm just coming in trying to, like, be a good participant. Right? And it's just seeing, like, all this, like, outward aggression, even when I am literally dishing none of it back. Being super kind. And that's all I had been doing. You've
been, like, pushed to the point where it's like, okay, well, if all this thing is happening, I can say whatever I want. Like, you feel like
I
justified.
I don't care. Yeah, like, this is the thing. Yeah. I feel absolutely 100% justified in every single thing that I do. That's why I'm pushing out these videos, because I'm simply letting my audience know, this is my track record, this is my history, this is why I feel this way. And there's a reason why that video got me. Let me just look at the analytics of this vid real fast. The vid that you just watched, right? That video right now has only, like, okay, not like only, but like 35.3k views and 102 subs from that one video. Which is, like, usually when my views are at, like, 30, 40k, I don't have, like, that many subs. It'll be, like, maybe, like, 20, 30, 40, 50. But that one has...
So you think it's a lot of outside people that are, like, agreeing.
It has a disproportionate amount of subs for the views that it has. And that is evidence to me, right? That people now finally understand why I feel this way. Why I, have so much targeted content towards him. And they agree with me, right? Otherwise, there wouldn't be that many subs. Like, let me just look at another video. The DMC collab ruined me, right? That's a video where I have, it's 43k views. That one only has 35 subs. That one only has 35. We got triple the number of subs with 10k less views on that Jenazad video. And that, to me, right? Again, I would like to think that I actually know what I'm talking about when it comes to analytics. Having a higher sub ratio relative to the number of views is, it pretty much means that you were spitting, right?
Right.
So that's my take on the matter. That's why I said I was dragging all of those skeletons out of the closet, because there was so much stuff that I feel like people didn't have the inside perspective on. And the last time that I talked about the matter, I got told I was psychoanalyzing. Merely from listing all the ways that he's fucked me in the past. And then saying, oh, he just keeps doing all of the same fucked up shit with, like, other people now. With, like, his viewers, all that. And then I got basically jumped on by a bunch of CCs in the space, all saying, oh, Jenazad's just, he's the golden boy. Oh, he could do no wrong. Oh, this is just a one-off occasion. Oh, Saint, you're reading way too much into this one to paint him in a negative light. And they kept spamming that. Disregarded all of my critiques, disregarded all of my points, disregarded all the issues that I was clearly experiencing, and just chalked it all up to psychoanalyzing. And you all know that happened, right? It happened to such a high, ridiculous degree, and it washed away all the responsibility from the nasty fucking shit that he was doing.
I think a lot of people just don't understand where you came from at the time, right? To a lot of people, it felt very out the blue and unexpected, like it came out of nowhere. So it's something that kind of must have been like brewing for a while. And I think a lot of people just didn't understand that from their side, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? Now I think if you watch that video, it is extremely obviously clear what's going on, right? When you watch that video, I think it's so definitive about, like, the whole ongoing you can't critique Woo-Wah, and then also, like, why he's on my shit and trying to blame me for everything all of the time. And it's kind of just, like, at this point, the ball is literally in his court because he looks like a fucking asshole. Because he is, right? He's a fucking dickhead. Let's just be entirely honest here. I've never gotten to see any good side of this guy because, like I mentioned, the first couple of interactions we've had, he's just been a fucking asshole for literally no reason. Or maybe he has actually the best reason ever, and he's completely justified in his dislike for me. But the thing is, he probably doesn't because he would have gave it by now if he did. I think he just doesn't like me for some fucking odd reason. Maybe it's because he was originally making Woo-Wah content, and then I completely, absolutely obliterated him on YouTube. And then he's kind of just like, oh man, now I can't be the guy that makes Woo-Wah content because Saint has, like, is just fucking completely, has completely eliminated me from the fucking algo, right? Maybe that's why he holds a grudge. And if it is, it would make sense, right? Because now I'm at the point where I have to theory craft reasons. I have to theory craft reasons for why he's mad at me because there's no actual reason
this would go into actual, like, psychoanalyzing territory,
but this
though,
is
right?
the thing.
Like, I don't... Yeah.
What else can we do to try to figure out why he's so fucking pissed at me? Because I had literally done nothing to him ever. And then our first interaction, he's fucking mad.
Right.
Like what else can you do at this point other than try to figure out why he's pissed off? Or why he was pissed off?
Yeah. I think whether or not, like, however he decided to dislike you in the first instance, it's gotten to the point now where, like, there's been so much shit that's been back and forward with this. It would be hard for anyone to find a reason to, like, want to like at this point. And I think it's important for people to know that people don't have to like each other, right? Like, people don't have to like each other. We can have dislike, but I think it's about, like, how we act. There's, like, a difference between, like, personal and professional. And I think there's, like, a professional level of, like, how could people still, like, interact and make sure everyone's having, like, constructive, like, discussions about things without having it to become weird for people.
I think this is the thing. I don't think Jenazad actually knows how to have these sort of discussions because I don't think he's ever had them in his fucking life. Because at this point, Bro has been babied so much. Bro has been babied so much and has dodged so much accountability for the fucked up things he's done. He can't even make a proper apology, right? And there are 2 examples of him failing to make a fucking proper apology in less than 6 months, right? Absolutely could not apologize to me properly before and that's the thing. You see all the shit in that video and you're like, yeah, you should definitely fucking say sorry for that, right? If that's the first time you've ever interacted with somebody and, like, you're still interacting with them in the space, you should definitely fucking say sorry for whatever you did there. And then you see his Woo-Wah apology video, and bro just spends, like, 90% of it literally defending himself and explaining why he's actually still right. So bad. So low quality. And that just is kind of evidence to me. Bro has never actually apologized or probably been apologized to before properly. And if he has, he probably doesn't register them as proper apologies. You can look at mine, right? When I made that joke. He's a fan of Maggie and Rosia. When I made that joke, right? I made an actual apology. I pointed out, yeah, it's because Maggie had been fucking me over so much that when I saw you defending her, I went too far, right? Because you were playing a lot of defense for this person that I know has also been talking shit about me behind the scenes, right? I gave the reason. It makes sense. I talk about how apologetic I am, talk about how it's prevented, and how that's not going to happen moving forward, right? We do that. I give him mine, and then bro just hyperanalyzes the shit out of my apology, right? He's like, oh, he got forced to make it. Oh, it's not genuine because, of course, he had to make it. Couldn't have just done the same exact disingenuous shit for him? Instead of actually go into and talk about his points. Not just wipe it all away and say, yeah, this apology, it's kind of stinky. It's just bullshit. He got forced to make it by his community. He got forced to make this apology because otherwise, right? Otherwise, like, he would have gotten in trouble. So everything he says, it's just bullshit. I could have easily done that, but his apology was so fucking bad that it was actually more effective just to listen to his actual points because they were so shit. So it's kind of just like, I look at all this stuff going on. I look at this guy still dodging accountability days later after the drama, after his apology video, after all this stuff, right? And he's still blaming everybody else. He's still blaming me. He's still blaming. And never for a second is he taking personal accountability. And at that point, it's like, if he's not going to take personal accountability for this, God knows he's not going to take any fucking personal accountability with me, right?
Right.
It's like, if he can't even apologize for this, when it's this easy, right?
I feel
resolving
like
this was
your whole intent, right, is to try and make someone understand something else, right? You're trying to make someone understand why these are the things that are bad. I need you to understand that and kind of like apologize for that. I think what I've always had, and I've kind of always said, I've never thought that making like such pointed videos about people is a good way to make them feel as though that they should like be justified in an apology. So do you kind of like recognize that like it's probably not going to happen because of it?
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Like, this is the thing, right? I think bro needs to be humbled beyond fucking belief. And I think some of that is happening right now because he has been an insufferable asshole for literally no reason. And that's the context. That's the history. I tried to dig it up before, and then he got, like, the entire fucking Special Avenger Force, right? Like, let's just be honest here, right? A lot of people have changed their tone regarding him in the past couple of months. A lot of people, right? And I'm just going to take a look at your chat
it's sad
right
that
now.
has to be the case.
Like,
I'd rather not people have like ill will against others, right? I don't want that to be the case. Like, I don't personally think it's a good thing that there are a lot of people that are like, yeah, this guy's like a piece of shit. I don't like that. And I don't want that to be the case. Like, I always want to try and find a way of like, okay, how can we resolve it in a way that we can kind of like a form of mutual peace in a way. I just don't know what the actions that should be taken to make that the case, because I don't think it's necessarily a win when we're saying that like hating on someone is like a good thing.
Well,
I don't know.
This is what's going on right now, right? I think it's become abundantly clear that when most people this is kind of like how I view it. When most people get the math equation 2 + 2, they would get 4, right? But when it comes to Jenazad, you go 2 + 2 and you end up with like a number like 7. Where you can clearly see that all the same inputs are happening, where, you know, you have all of this shit that most people would get crucified for, and then he's had the entire defense force come out for him, invalidate all the critiques that were made against him, and that's happened every single time he's been a little shit in the past. And I think it's gotten to the point where he needs to recognize that nobody is coming to his defense right now, because his actions are literally just not defensible to any degree. This whole situation, when everybody understands it's this easy for it to have not gotten this large, bro could have literally just owned up in like a 4-minute apology video on his YouTube channel, right? Been like, I was a fucking dick. Like, I took comments from my YouTube. Like, it was so easy to move on.
I can understand when you have like 1 minute of an apology at the end of like 21 minutes, like people are obviously going to think, well, like, are we supposed to take that seriously? Like, I understand that.
I guess this is the thing, right? I'm just going to reference your, kind of like your tweet that you made before. You mentioned, right? Does the punishment fit the crime? Right? And I guess the thing is, what has Jenazad done to deserve this grace that he's being provided? Right? What has Jenazad actively done to deserve the grace that he has actually, in this situation, been given a lot of before, and the grace that he got in the past? And the thing is, you can't really find out a good reason for why that occurs. And the best excuse we've gotten is, well, he already had an ego. Okay, like, That's the only explanation we've gotten. He has an ego. And it's sort of just like, I think a lot of people are reading into it and they're just like, oh, wait, yeah, his behavior is completely fucking unjustified from every degree.
I understand, because if we refer to, like, does the punishment fit the crime? I was thinking of that from the perspective of, like, just a singular take, from one singular perspective of, like, this particular scenario, not taking into account, like, everything else that's happened.
Right?
Yeah.
Not
and taking into account, like, everything else that comes along with it, because to me, in my head, it's just the point of, like, well, it's a gotcha take. Someone tried to apologize. Was it a bad one? Yes, but someone tried. But given, like, other, like, context around it, like, I understand why people wouldn't want to give as much of a grace.
And this is the thing, right? Is I've been the one calling out these dog shit fucking takes in the past. I'm the one where those videos come from, right? And so it's like, yes, I went ahead and I try to hold people accountable, right? For when they make, like, weird, stinky ass fucking, like, just nonsensical takes. And I do the same thing when they do it for, like, other games too, right? And the thing is just like, when I've been on the record doing all this stuff, right? And then the behavior just never changes. Like it did, or actually, ironically enough, right? We did the same thing for Mr. Pokke. Right? I went on a fucking journey defending HSR players at the start of the year. And let's be honest here, he kind of stopped, right? He kind of stopped. And it took a couple of months, but it did stop. Jenazad doesn't stop when he gets called out, right? And that's because he's been defended so much this entire time. Baby hands, right?
But we can't be like surprised Pikachu face now when, like, people have, like, things to say at this point.
Exactly.
Right?
Because,
like, he can't be like surprised Pikachu face when, like, why are these people, like, saying stuff when
like,
we're making, like, takes that we know, like, from experience that people aren't gonna, like, receive well. That's the problem, right?
The unfortunate part about this is that it's just, I think about this entire situation, I think about what he's doing and the way that he acts, and the only, like, and the main takeaway I have from this is, like, it's just so immature. It's so immature, the stuff that's going on. I literally feel like I'm in fucking middle school or, like, high school, and this is like the Mean Girls Club, where it's like you just have, like, one person that just really dislikes you and you don't know why, and they're just, like, always, like, talking behind the scenes and then, like, saying all this shit and, like, just doing all of that. And then they're like, you know, it's like when they're in their friend group, they're, like, talking even more shit under their breath, being all past. Like, it literally feels like high school drama. And then, like, when you call it out,
but that's annoying. Like, I could so understand why that's infuriating, especially. But it's like it's kind of even worse than that when you apply it to this scenario, because it's not like someone shit talking you to, like, some friends. It's someone shit talking you to a lot of fucking people.
And this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
It could have been so easy. Right, for us to have, like, communities that got along, and then, like, woo-wah on Twitch would have been, like, so much more unified, right? Because there would be, like pretty much all the creators in the space would have gotten along at that point. But from day one, this guy has just hated me. And I still don't know why. Straight up, since day one, he's been a fucking hater.
I think that's kind of, like, what's needed is just, like, an explanation of either as to why, or some kind of recognition that, this is just, like, irreconcilable, and that's just going to be how it is. And hey, if that's the way that it is, then people are going to say that shit, right?
Yeah.
People are just going to continue. If nothing changes, then people are just going to keep spewing that shit, and it is what it is.
And the funny thing is, you try to make any sense out of the matter. You try to, like, just think for a second, why would Jenna hate Saint? And then you'll have retards coming out of the woodworks. Stop psychoanalyzing him. What do you know? Oh, you're being so parasocial for trying to figure out why this guy hates you. Because you haven't been given any reason. And it's just like, okay, like, what are we
Sometimes you just know when someone doesn't fucking like you. Like, you just know. Like, it couldn't be more clear as day. And that's, like, that's valid.
It's just, what are we even doing here at this point? And this is what, and I'm just going to be honest. I feel like bro has to have, like, I don't know what's going on with the viewer base for, like, there to be this much defense. And this is the thing, right? I mentioned it before, looking at some of the names in the chat. I think a lot of people have had a bit of a turning point moment with him because of all the stuff that's coming out. And of course, all the crash outs that have been going without any real moderation, any real fixing at all. And that's the stuff that I've just been working through. Like, this has literally been, like, my sort of setup for the last 7 months. I've had people talking shit about me just for merely expressing my grievances with a guy that has just, like, been, I'm gonna be honest over here, right? think about how Jenna's been on my shit since day one, and think about how you would react, right? Going through and having it for the past 7 months.
I'd probably be worse than you. Because I would be so petty. I would be so petty. And so I get it. And after like, I don't know, after like seeing a video, like I understand like better. I'm not surprised that you kind of acted in the way that you did, you know, given that you feel that the someone is just after your ass for no reason. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, at this point, reconciliation, all of that, there are just some people that I feel no desire at all to reconcile with, and he's kind of just one of them. Because in the first opportunity that he had to even be slightly apologetic, he gave the worst apology in gacha history. Honestly, if anyone gave that apology anywhere, like, they would just, like, a bridge would be fucking burned. Let's just be entirely fucking real here. I'm sorry if I ever, like, and you wanna know what the worst part of this is? I had clearly outlined multiple times what all of my grievances were. You'll have retards like Sobas in your chat telling you, oh my gosh, Saint was over here psychoanalyzing him for 7 hours. You all know what that also means? That means that 7 hours worth of footage, it also wasn't even that long. It was more like 3, right? I don't think Sobas knows how to do math, but he's a ZZZ player, so what are we confused about here? It's like, it was like 3 to 4 hours, and it also meant that if it's a clear and cut recollection of all the ways that he's fucked me over and why I'm upset with him. That would make it the easiest actual address or the easiest possible apology to ever make, ever. Because you know exactly what pissed me off, and you know exactly what made me upset. And you know all the reasons for why I have the grievances. All of that is there. All of that is available. And what we say is, I'm sorry if I ever did something that upset you.
Yeah.
Like,
that doesn't feel sincere.
And then we go again, and then we actually, for our fob master situation, we don't even look at the video, and we use it as ammunition to defend ourselves, right? It's just, I see all of this bad shit that had been done 7 months ago, that I had explicitly called out numerous times, and then he just goes again and just keeps doing it again and again and again. And you're just like, okay, at this point, I've got to call this shit out. The same exact shit that was pissing me off before, that would piss anybody off. You don't even have to be a CC, but there's somebody going ahead and talking shit about the stuff that you made without even looking at it, reading it, or whatever. You would get mad too. It's just that simple. And this guy's doing all these things to all these different people in all these different environments for the most, like, stupid reasons ever, right? Because he can't fucking take the L for himself. And you see it in the apology, minimizing everything. You see it in the fucking, in the streams afterward, making shit up. Or incorrectly summarizing videos to defend himself.
If there was some, like recognition, we could say that, like, that's kind of like that would kind of be it, right? If you got to that point, that there was some kind of recognition of, like, everything, that would be, like, would that be good enough for you to be like, okay, that's, like, something? Or is it too far gone? Or is it too far?
I mean, this is the thing. I think we're at the point where the ship has sailed. Let's just be entirely honest here. Right? The ship had sailed quite a while ago, where we're at the point, like, the proper time to apologize would have been at the start of this year, right? Honestly, the proper time to apologize, would have been right after he fucking crashed out on my chat. That would have been the proper time. But the thing is that I don't know how you can view yourself crashing out like that on somebody's stream and then not realize you've done something wrong. That is, like, worth like, I think most people, if they had done that on somebody else's stream, they would find it their personal responsibility to address that or say sorry. That's what I mean by when most people do 2 plus 2, you get 4, and I said Jenazad gets 7. Because if you did that, you would naturally, most people would want to say sorry or something afterwards and, like, be like, hey, like, that I'm like, that's not how I want to appear in the second time that I ever interact with you. Right? And it's just the fact that that doesn't happen, you're just like, right? Like,
it's no, I know. Sorry, I fucking batted in that. No, I get you. I think in a way it's like it's unfortunate, but I totally get where you're coming from and why you feel the way you do. and that this is kind of like a, like you say, like a ship that's been sailed for your, and you like, that's like very justifiable at this point. And I think a lot of people would view it as like a shame, but understanding of it, right?
I think this is the thing. I'm a straight shooter in all of these regards. I said it multiple times. I like to think that I call it down the middle when it comes to this bullshit, right? And I've always been open for a conversation this entire time. And the thing is, when you know that this guy has literally just fucked me over, and then you're seeing him going out of his way to, you know, tell people, oh, he doesn't want to get on call with me and shit like that. This is I'm sorry, like, maybe this is fucked up. This feels like your abuser getting a restraining order on you. Like, I'm the one that got abused, and then he also has a restraining order against me. I'm like, wait,
right?
That's like, isn't the opposite what's supposed to happen?
Like, I'm the one being slighted. Like, I should be having, like, why do I have the gag? It also makes it awkward for other people, right? It makes it awkward for other people to like organize stuff, and it's like, why aren't these people here? Why aren't
like,
that people here? It's like, well, someone just doesn't want to turn up or doesn't like someone else, and it kind of feels kind of childish.
The
like
guy that has literally caused all the problems since day one, the source of all the problems since day one, is now making the requests of like who should or shouldn't be invited to stuff. Like, huh? It's like, without his actions in the first place, there would never be any issues. Yet he's now the one that that people are conforming to. That's why I'm saying it's like high school drama, bro. Like, I feel like sometimes during these social interactions, I'm taking fucking crazy pills. I feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills. I'm gonna be honest, because I feel like you replicate this scenario in like any other like social situation, and like it would just be a completely opposite. Like the dynamic would just be completely different, because you look at the cause and effect here across the past 7 months, and nothing makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's unfortunate because it's become, rather than like a disagreement about like gadget takes or anything like that, it's become a disagreement and beef between like two people personally. And I think that's probably the main reason why other people don't want to talk about this when it regards to you both or get involved, because people, it becomes way more difficult to talk about other people's personal beef. And I think that's where like a lot of this is like kind of
this is my take. I invite everybody to react to this situation, find out all the details for themselves, and make a take. I think like this whole, oh, it's between two people thing, I don't think it's particularly relevant, right? Jenazad and I are two of the biggest CCV viewers for Wuthering Waves on Twitch. When we're these big streamers, big content creators in the space, it's like talking about the bigger content creators in the space for a game that you like main, or a game that you at least cover at the very least, is like, it's not like you're butting into like crazy, like it's not like you're butting into anything crazy, because this is one of the biggest CCs in the space acting like a fucking dickhead for no reason, right? And has been for such a long time. Reacting to that and having an opinion on it, at least in my opinion, right, is not a problem if you're another CC that's in the space. Because, let's just be honest here, is Jenazad not one of the biggest sources of toxicity in Wuthering Waves? From at least the past couple of weeks. I would have to say he kind of is, right? Because without him, there's no drama surrounding Wuthering Waves 2.5.
I think it's definitely, the discourse has made people like come out the woodworks to say some crazy shit for sure.
And the thing is, I think that having somebody that's going to go ahead and actively be causing all these issues with other CCs unprompted, because that's what he did 7 months ago, unprompted, has started drama that has swelled up to what it is right now. That's the truth of the matter. You have one CC hating another for no documented reason, and then they're still talking shit 7 months later. After talking shit, fuck it, they've been talking shit across all the 7 months.
It's a lot of shit talking. It's been a lot of time, like along 7 months, and I just hope that it doesn't become 7 months more. I try to be the optimist. I hope it does become 7 months more, but at this point, I feel kind of hopeless about the situation. Like, I feel like it's probably going to be 7 years at this point.
Guys,
That's gonna be said.
I see some people in Caps chat saying all this stuff, guys. Who's the guy that came up with the multiversal theory to defend Honkai Star Rail 3.2 in global passives, and then paint Wuthering Waves in a negative light using the fucking time stone? That's Jenazad. Who is asking these people to make these takes that are clearly right? That are clearly adding to toxicity for literally no reason. Who's the guy that went ahead? Do keep in mind, right? Remember when I said Jenazad's one of the biggest CCV woo-wah viewers? Imagine one of your big CCV woo-wah streamers is going ahead, talking shit about the night market, and then glazing the shit out of Honkai Star Rails. Spending event that's like 30 times worse. You literally feel like the guy's like astroturfing live, and you're like, okay, like what the fuck is one of the biggest woo-wah CCs like just like fucking shilling the shit out of other games, and then like fucking like looking disingenuous as shit about the game that you're there watching for. It's like, it's stuff like that where you're just like, oh, like, is this helping?
So like it's the kind of thing of, you feel that people that are creators, especially big creators, have kind of like an obligation to be like as like faithful as possible, even if they might have like a personal biases towards something. It's like you still want to be like objective because it matters to an audience, right?
I see somebody in your chat saying, so what, Saint? You want to ban him from the community over this one drama? I don't know who Lay Rain is, but I do think that if they go to their government office, they might be able to get free money from them. I don't understand how it's even possible for somebody to have that take after the video that you just reacted to. I don't think it's actually possible. But if they are, then, well, yeah, go collect your free money, bro.
It's a topic that I think is definitely sparking like a lot of sides of an argument. Like you say, there's a lot of people who don't know the full context. They don't know everything. So people are going to like have their judgments like one way or another. And it's, you know, talking about it is a way of trying to get like your side out there a little bit and to see like how you're taking this and everything. But I think it's, man, I think it's like a shame, but it's understandable.
It's a shame for sure. But the thing is just,
yeah.
It's so easy for one person to solve all these issues, right? Jenazad is the one that has created this entire situation, this entire problem, because he went ahead and poured gasoline onto a small spark, right? The small spark was 7 out of 10. Sure, we can say that, right? Then he decided to pour gasoline all the fuck over it. He's in the middle of this raging inferno, and then he's blaming everybody else for creating the spark in the first place. That's pretty much an accurate summary of this situation.
Yeah.
Right? And when he's on the record blaming everybody else in the past, never taking accountability, and then I have to go through my 7 months history and then talk about all the times that he's dodged accountability once again. We're just seeing the same exact actions repeated over and over and over. And I think that somebody that's never able to take accountability causes problems and then blames the game's community for the problems that they themselves caused. That's why I call him a toxic creator. Isn't that one of the most toxic fucking things you can do? Cause problems. It's your fault. And then you divert the blame to other people.
It feels
inherently toxic.
It feels very like self-sabotagey because like you can't then understand like a real truth of a matter.
And it happens over and over and over again, right? And it's gotten to the point where his take is so fucking bad and the reaction is so big, he started blaming me for it. It's like now I'm at the point where I am taking the blame for his dog shit take and his crash out. And that's the narrative that he's spreading to his audience. Because he's on the record multiple times on stream, literally just saying it's all me.
You become like a scapegoat, and that's not something that's like fair.
And that's just inherently toxic. He's already blamed 2 people for this incident. Bro talks about how he doesn't want to be in drama. Bro talks about how he doesn't want to keep things going. But he literally, his actions don't reflect his words. Remember that time when I sent the apology over to him? You know how easy it was for him to move on? He could have just said, yeah, you know, it's a little bit rough, but yeah, I can get some of the sincerity behind the apology. Okay, all right. We both send apologies to each other. We're good. Let's just move on. Let's let bygones be bygones, right? Very easy. He proceeded to hyperanalyze my apology, say that I was forced into it, and so it can't be genuine at all. And you want to know what else he did while he was hyperanalyzing it? He started trying to use my friendships with other CCs in the space against me at that time. He was like, can't this guy, like, see all the other CCs who've come out in support of me? And he used that to further invalidate. He used that to further invalidate my apology while he's reacting to it. And just so you know, Jenazad sent his apology first. his dog shit one. Sobas is over here calling my apology half-baked, ladies and gentlemen. When I sent my apology after Jenazad sent his, and Jenazad's apology is, I'm sorry if I ever did anything to offend you before. And Sobas is over here calling my apology half-baked. If my apology is half-baked, Jenna's apology was a bag of flour.
The gadget space is not good at cooking, apparently.
Yeah, his apology was a bag of flour, if mine was half-baked.
When anyone hits you with the, like, I'm sorry you feel that way, it's kind of like, well, that's just, you're just saying that to kind of, like, try and, like, peacekeep. Like, I get that.
You'll still have people say that my apology was bad. You all know why? It's because Jenna said it was not genuine. It was actually a great apology. And if you're of the opinion that my apology wasn't good, I'll be the first one to call you a retarded piece of shit. That probably is never going to have, like, meaningful interactions with people because you're so easily swayed. Because that was actually a good apology. And the fact that you're swayed this much because a guy was being disingenuous in his analysis of it is absolutely insane. You're over here believing the guy calling the apology disingenuous when the guy is not able to make an apology in the first place. Guys, this is the person, the homeless guy, eating food out of the dumpster, judging a gourmet meal, and then telling you that the meal's not good. Why are you listening to the guy that cannot make a proper apology in the first place and his judgment of an apology? He doesn't know what a good one is at all. So it doesn't matter what he says. You can look at his track record of apologies. How would he know? Did you apologize for wife beater? Oh no, that joke is hilarious. No, I'll make it again. No, making a joke about, hey, officer, after seeing him smack a table for no reason is actually hilarious. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'll make that joke again. I'm never apologizing for that one. It's legitimately funny. You can't tell me to go apologize for making that joke when I made it to a CC that's telling his viewers to re-roll IRL because they said he was talking too much during the story. Why do you think Jenazad got so overly offended by that? The guy that's able to hurl insults like that got that offended over a wife beating joke. It doesn't make sense. And that's another part of why I thought I've been taking crazy pills. Because how is the guy spitting that? Guys, it's not even about the most recent thing. This is the guy because he got called Frozen Rain in my chat. And then he got made fun of for his large echo inventory. Started screaming at my chat for a whole minute. If that's my history with him, and that's what I'm talking about when it comes to the history, how am I not justified in making that baby joke? That baby fucking joke after the guy had crashed out and gaslit me into thinking my chat was committing murder. Baby joke, it's a fucking crime. Dude, are you doing tricks on it right now, Sobas? I feel like this has been one of the most frustrating weeks of your existence. Seeing your golden boy taken down multiple pegs because his behavior is absolutely inexcusable. And there's no people coming to his defense now. This guy told people to go re-roll IRL over comments on YouTube. And you're out here clutching your pearls like a little pussy because it's the streamer that you like. When you know, because you watch them, they say way worse shit on the regular. You are not any better? When did I say I was?
Fucked up jokes are funny though. Like, as a British person, like, fucked up jokes are the best jokes.
This is what I mean. Jenna has this community of absolute retards that will just come in here and then just make the most disingenuous arguments possible in his defense. Yeah. And it's insane, right? Like, how are you even going ahead and trying to, like, have this clutching pearls, like, oh, it's so bad that he made that joke. I couldn't believe he could do that. When you're watching the same streamer that's regularly telling people to off themselves about stories. Huh? It's like you're playing a rated M game with, like, guts, like, gore. You shoot a gun and, like, people explode. And then you get freaked out by a kissing scene. Oh, that's so inappropriate for kids. Oh, what would happen if the kids saw that kissing scene in our game where there are literally body parts flying around every 3 seconds? Like, you sound so stupid. It's crazy. And that's the defense that has been played for him before. And that's why I've been saying, I think I'm taking fucking crazy pills. How does any of this make any sense at all? Are you guys able to make sense of this?
No, I understand. I'm sympathetic.
What just happened? Why is chat popping off?
Your chat is shitting on me.
Is it about Itoma getting ratioed by a daily account?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you got
Yes.
you got kind of obliterated, brother.
See, you know what my counter argument is though?
What is it?
I rizzed up the peak developers and got a free Steam key. So who really won?
Isn't the game like $2?
I don't care. You know what's funnier? I didn't even get the Steam key. Someone claimed it before me.
So you actually didn't get anything.
Nope.
So what are you bragging about?
Getting 50 free K likes.
All right.
If people want to, they can keep harping about the whole thing, but then they're just literally proving everything I said was correct.
I think this whole current Jenna situation is kind of fucking crazy, right? Because that tweet I made, quote retweeting Augusta, or whatever the fuck they're called, I made that tweet hearing only one thing, right?
What was it?
I didn't see everything.
Okay.
It was like, I don't know what it was. It was like, I didn't see the full scope, right? And then after that, like a few days later, I saw more and more and more. I was like, yo, this is kind of crazy. Because, like, I won't say it's only Jenna's fault, right? Because the community is low-key kind of, like, not the whole Wuwa community, just like the vocal minority that's kind of fucking annoying,
Yeah.
right? Because they, like, at the end of the day, it did start off with the rating. It did stem off of that.
So-
That's not the main vocal point anymore.
Exactly.
But it stemmed off of that.
So this is the way that I view it. The rating was like the world's smallest domino, or like the tiniest spark, and the action of Jenazad crashing out was essentially him putting a bunch of extra dominoes behind that small one, letting them all fall, or him pouring gasoline on that spark. And then it turns into, you know, a big disaster if it's the dominoes, or a gigantic inferno, right? If it's the if it's the embers, right? And the thing is that there was so little recognition of his contribution to the entire matter. He deleted context so that people couldn't find it. Unfortunately, there were videos made about his videos, so people could still get the context anyways. And it just makes the situation look worse. When he's talking about all the vile comments he received, all like how he's getting targeted by the toxic part of the community. And the worst comment you see on his YouTube page on that video was him getting called a clapped walnut. Right? And you're kind of just like, maybe that's what he found really offensive. Maybe getting called a clapped walnut was like so triggering for him that's why he crashed out.
crazy.
If that's the truth, that's even funnier, right? It's even funnier that we got so offended by that. And the other thing is, if that's not what he read, you just have to take the quote that he gave at the start of his crash out, where he read something from chat. People are hating your review because they said you yapped too much during the story. That was directly what he read from chat, and that is what his crash out was preceded by, right? And so you can naturally assume that crash out from him, how does it make sense that it's from the toxic part of the community when he gave the reason for why he crashed out? You were talking too much during the story. And then during his apology, he somehow warped the message, the target of his crash out, not to the people saying he yapped too much, but to the toxic Twitter community. Did anyone kind of like realize how he kind of did like that switch, where you can clearly see where it's coming from? You can clearly see where the crash
blame
out.
that he's pushing, right?
Yeah.
The blame that he's pushing is not on the people actually criticizing him. Because every time I hear, like, I've heard him talk about it, like clips and everything, it's always the toxic side of the Wuwa community, Kuro bots. That's what he's saying. He's not saying, oh, the people that are critiquing me.
But that's the thing.
He's specifically saying the toxic side, but I don't see where the toxic side came from.
But this is the thing, right? When he is when the reason for his crash out literally is you yap too much during the story, and then that's what prompts his explosion, you have to assume it's from his comments. Because that was a direct quote from his YouTube comments. He was talking too much during the story. And so that's why the whole sort of like deflection to, oh, it's actually the super toxic part of the community, when it's like he's responding to his own viewers saying that he talked too much during the story. Right? And so naturally, right, we're getting into this kind of like deep discussion over like wording and stuff. I don't particularly care. The main thing is that it was a severe overreaction, right, to the entire issue. And then bro proceeded to go ahead and then pin the blame on everybody else. And he's now saying, if you're making a big deal out of me making a big deal, you're the problem. If you're defending yourself, right, or you're simply having a normal response to me poking the bear, kicking the hornet's nest, then you're actually the problem if you respond to my clear aggression or my clear rage baiting. And it's such a, like, like at its core, it's like a disingenuous tactic, right? It's just kind of like a like you're at fault for being upset is essentially what he's saying when he's doing something that's clearly meant to upset people. He even admitted it himself. His goal was to rage bait, right? His goal was to piss people off. He said that in his apology. And now that people are pissed off, he's saying that it's their fault and that he's actually right because people are negatively reacting to content that he indicated he wanted to rage bait people with. And that by itself is sort of just like we're still saying it, by the way, a week later, which is kind of the crazy part, right? We're still...
I'm surprised it's still going.
We're still sticking with that. And this is what I mean. It's this easy to avoid the issue and resolve this situation simply by taking a small amount of accountability and actually apologizing. But we're still saying that we're right. Which is... This is what I mean, is... When you think about my personal history, regarding the matter and my relationship with him and how he has, in a lot of ways, done the same things he's doing now by dodging accountability, it's just, this is like a track record thing. And right now, it's just, I don't feel like that's something, like, there's a reason why, and you can obviously disagree with this. I think you're one of the people that said it. There's a reason why I called him one of the most toxic people in the community. Because he fucks up on his own and then is blaming everybody else for his fuck up. And it's solely his own responsibility. It's all because of him that this issue has blown up, right? And he's going over here directing blame to the small ember that he poured gasoline on and doesn't recognize how much gasoline he actually poured on it. And it's just that level of just like dodging accountability, that level of making your problems other people's is like, I'm just going to be honest here, right? Is that something you would want to deal with in your day-to-day? Like, assuming that this isn't, like, content creation or this isn't, like... It's just not something, like, I'm just going to, like, use the framing, right? Like, there's somebody in real life that's acting like this. They cause problems. They cause big issues. And then they make it somebody else's responsibility when they're the one that had the biggest hand in causing those problems. It's just... I wouldn't want to associate myself with them because I'm going to get blamed for shit that wasn't my fault.
Yeah,
and
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
He keeps doing that, right? And I just view that behavior as incredibly toxic. That's my personal point of view on it. I think that's some of the most toxic behavior that a person can have.
I agree. It is like it's a bad thing, right? I personally don't view it as just because of that he's the worst, like one of the most toxic creators. But it's not a good trait. It is definitely not a good trait.
I can agree with you, right? Probably that alone is not enough to make somebody toxic. But then you combine that with the fact that
if it piles up,
right? This is only the most recent thing, and then let's just be honest about our history, right? Bro's been hating on me for no reason.
We both know, right? Like, I don't hate you or anything. Like, I like you. Like, even if we disagree, like, we disagree a lot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, I disagree with you a lot.
Yeah.
And that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Some people would crash out over that. But, that, like, we can be civil.
Yeah.
I think why Jenna doesn't like you, like, from the start is because...
Oh, wait.
People see you as kind of hostile.
I told him, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down. Because we're talking about Jenazad, people are now going to say that you're psychoanalyzing. I hope you're ready for wherever this conversation goes. I hope
that is completely
people
fine,
are
bro.
going to say that you're doing that. Because
let them say that, bro.
Let
them say that.
I hope you know that.
True.
I'm just going to warn you.
I must also be the worst of the worst, considering, like, for them, probably. But, no, because, like, I think... Like, he just saw you, like, when you, like, probably right when you started streaming, right? Like, right around then. I think he just viewed you as an asshole, I guess. Because, like, from an outsider's perspective, looking into your streams for the first time, people can perceive you as an asshole.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Right? And I think that's, like, from the get-go, probably rubbed him off the wrong way. I'm just going to talk generally. I don't like people that look at someone for the first time, and they're like, ugh. And then never give them a chance ever again. When I first saw you, I also thought you were an asshole.
Yeah.
But when I actually talked to you, you're a good guy, bro. Like, you're a great guy.
I think all you have to do is look at my future interactions with him on the Gacha Cast, where I'm being incredibly cordial, you know, just trying to have some fun, just trying to get along. And then you can look at the past Gacha Casts, and bro's like fucking in
I remember the last time with the
fucking he's like fucking prone,
the
bro.
anniversary,
he's like ready
bro.
to take some fucking shots every time I'm about to say something. Like, he's like positioned just to like counter whatever I'm saying on all the gacha casts. And it's like, I'm not doing anything to this guy. I'm not doing anything to... I've never done anything to him. Except just...
Like, for example, like, when that happened, when that drama happened, I remember being on your side, too, because that hostility was for no fucking reason.
When we use that whole argument of, oh, this guy was, like, a bit of a dick before, or, like, this guy, on my first impression, he seemed like a bit of an asshole, right? Like you said, doesn't excuse treating them like an asshole when you don't even know you don't even know about them at all. But this is also the other thing. I've had creators give that same point of feedback, right? Where, oh, they thought I was an asshole initially, and then kind of like not want to associate with me because of that. But the creators that are saying that, they're all friends with Tectone. And this is like not a slight at Tech. This is like Tech acts like a fucking dick sometimes. And it's sort of just like...
Not just sometimes.
you would imagine that if somebody is friends with Tectone, they have some sort of just like... You would assume that they would understand a bit more about the, like, asshole on stream dynamic. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like being friends with the biggest asshole on stream in the space. And it's just like...
It's like, he was worse, bro. I can't lie, he was worse. Like, he was worse of an asshole. Techie
Yeah.
was.
It just seems a little bit weird, right? That now we have this sort of, like, critical lens of, oh, I see, this guy is not actually that kind. It's, like, again, why do you think I've been saying I'm taking crazy pills? Because nothing makes sense regarding this. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, fair enough. Like, the thing is, right? Like, I'm probably speaking for a few people here. I'm not going to discredit that you have not done anything wrong. But, like, just because, like, everyone does some wrong. I've done shit wrong, too, in my content creator life, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've said some fucking stupid shit, too. But there's just, like, there's some shit that goes towards you that is just... It's crazy, because it's just, like, out of fucking nowhere. It's just unjustified.
Hey,
it's just like, why?
And like I said, bro, people getting that up in arms about the wife beating joke and then turning that into the craziest thing ever. Bros,
Like, the thing is,
bros
right?
out there telling them to go re-roll IRL, bro, over being told he talked too much. Like,
That's the thing. Like,
it's just like
it's like, I got it. I understood back then, right? Like, why he would get angry at something like that. But, like, if you're gonna get angry at something like that, you can't do something similar. Like, literally, like
you can't get upset, right? Like if you're gonna go out, if you're gonna dish it like that, you can't get that upset with it, right? Like that's just my point of view, right? People can say some crazy shit about me. I'm not gonna get that mad, but I'll fire some shit back, right?
That's the thing. Either you get upset and you don't do it yourself, or you just fling shit back.
Yeah, and then you just kind of go on. But it's like, bro wanted to have his cake and eat it too. Sling a bunch of shit at people, but then get overly offended when shit gets flung back at him. Which is like, I guess he was allowed to do it. He was allowed to do it, right? And I think the unfortunate part, right, is, you know, you're probably gonna get shit for this, Itoma. Good luck. They used the psychoanalyzing defense before, right? Earlier this year, invalidated everything that I was saying, said I was psychoanalyzing. Now, they're doing the same level of invalidation. Of course, right? Saying, oh, people are just bored, they don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I think it's kind of crazy. I think it's really rough how there's so many people willing to spread a narrative to just deflect all blame, or you know, absolve so much responsibility when it's just like, why? Like, why?
Hold up.
I know why. They're friends, right? But it's also just like, I think at some point, people need to have some personal responsibility to hold their friends accountable. And this is the thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
I respect Tectone a lot for, like, basically recusing himself from the situation, right? I respect him a lot for doing that. Because I think that, to a degree, right, is kind of like, okay, he made his bed, now it's time to lay in it. And it's like a lot of people really feel this need to start like going ahead and then like fixing up Jenna's bed for him when he's the guy that fucked it all up. And the unfortunate part is, I think everybody in the space is starting to see just how much cover has been played and is still being played for him right now. And at least from the public perspective, I don't think he's done anything to deserve that level of treatment in this current situation. And so it's very easy for me to call it out,
like,
right, and have an opinion on the matter.
Like, for example, like, the reason why I said, like, that quote to Augusta, like, the whole board thing, the reason why I said it is because, like, recently, like, not just in the gacha space, right, but recently, a lot of dramas are just people getting bored and saying shit for the sake of saying shit, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, the way, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, it's another case of this shit.
I think that's the thing.
And it does happen a lot. It does happen a lot.
You were not wrong. You were not wrong at all when that 7 out of 10 meme where the guy's like, hey, like this guy, like, look at it, like he hates this thing, right? And that's the meme that Tectone actually referenced as well. You guys weren't wrong at all that was like people being bored, right? I'll agree with you there. And the unfortunate part about all this is that there is a fair grain of truth in the things that people have said before, but now it's being taken quite far. Because, right?
Yeah.
You guys were correct when that meme was made. That was a bunch of people having some jokes, right? That thing got like 1,500 likes on Twitter and nothing else. Do you want to know what my somebody sent that to me, and you want to know what my reaction was? I literally said, it sounds like Jenna just like is rating this against the scale of other games. If he just wants to like avoid this drama in the future, he can just give like a gacha adjusted rating and just say it's a 7 for a regular game, it's like an 8 or a 9 for a gacha, and then just like move on from there. No big deal. That was my response to the 7 out of 10 drama. I looked at it, heard a little bit of his explanation, covered it in like 3 minutes, no video, moved on. It only got big after the motherfucker crashed out and started telling people to re-roll because he got told he was yapping too much during his story playthrough.
I can't believe it's still going. Like, still. Like, even at Kurofest. Bro's still making
because
remarks.
You can literally look at the timeline and then see when all the stopping points were. It was literally a stopping point after the 7 out of 10. If he just doesn't address it, he just doesn't make a video, doesn't do anything from that point onward, the drama's over.
It would have passed.
Because it's a fucking tweet.
It would have passed so fast.
It's a tweet with 1,000 likes. Like, it's done. But he managed to turn one tweet with 1,000 likes into this insane fucking abomination because he got caught up over getting told he talked too much during his playthrough. It's just and then when you watch Glaive's video, or at least my reaction to Glaive's video, because I pull up more receipts, he literally was talking a lot. Like bro was doing some yapping.
Right? It wouldn't so easy. It like on both sides. The community could have said, oh, you're not a good game critic, or you're not a good story critic for us. We're going to give you the Pokke treatment and -2, right? And he could have just passed, just not said anything, and just like moved on.
Yep.
And nothing would have happened. The back and forth just consistently for a week is crazy. Him telling the community to Minecraft themselves, them going back at them, just back and forth for a week, and it's still going, even at Kurofest.
I will be a little bit fair about it, though. I'm actually going to go to bat for Mr. Pokke a teeny bit over here. I think that the clear difference and what makes Pokke's situation actually a little bit better is very simple. Pokke had his story review critiqued by like CCs with their audience, right? He had his story reviews critiqued by both Fob and Tectone on stream, right? There was a video or two made about it, right? And the thing is, Jenna did not have that level of like build-up. Nobody made a video about his 7 out of 10 score. Nobody made a video, nobody like addressed it on stream and then talked about, if anything, I like defended his 7 out of 10 score. I defended his 7 out of 10 score and said it's not a big deal. People shouldn't really be freaking out about this. I literally said that. And he managed to crash out over an issue that was actively already getting minimized. by the CCs he's currently blaming right now. He blamed me for everything going on, right? And I was helping to minimize his 7 out of 10 stuff at the beginning. I don't know if people have a clip of it, but the regular viewers know how I reacted to that initial meme with like the guy with the hat, right, doing that. People know how I was minimizing the fuck out of that situation because I thought it wasn't that big of a deal. And then I only went in after his crazy crash out. And the thing is, I can actually, honestly, understand Pokke like a little bit more because he actually had like CCs with a big audience, maybe like 4,000, maybe like 10K total CCV. Looking into his story reviews and critiques, this guy had a 1,000 like Twitter post that he crashed out over. And then this is the thing. Pokke didn't even crash out, right? He was just very targeted with his response video on the story, right? Jenna just fucking went ballistic over being told he talked too much. Like,
It's just crazy, bro.
it's just like,
fucking
at that
crazy.
point, you're just like, this is what I mean. It's people are doing a lot of comparisons between Mr. Pokke and Jenna. And I'm going to be honest, guys. You guys know that I don't like Pokke particularly much, but I'm telling you, you are doing Pokke a disservice by drawing those comparisons. Like, sure, there are some similarities between the two, but this guy's it's like you look at the input to the output. For regular people, 2 + 2 = 4. But for Jenna, 2 + 2 = 7. And there are so many examples of it. And this is what I mean, guys, is I know a lot of people are now kind of like in the meta where you're going ahead and you're like digging in, saying that Jenna's like the new Pokke, all of that stuff. Guys, I think he's just a little bit worse. I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely think he's a fair bit worse. Because you look at the input to all of Jenna's crash outs, you look at the output, and it doesn't make sense. How are these crazy things happening with so little going into the situation? And then he's taking these massive disasters that he's created and then shoveling the blame of them to somebody else. As far as I'm concerned, Pokke didn't do that. He just made some dog shit takes about games, repeatedly, over and over, and then directed some hate to people that he shouldn't have, with how he would organize his videos, right?
Personally, I view Pokke and Jenna as completely, like, there's, like, maybe, like, 2, maybe 3 similarities. I feel them as completely different situations.
I view
'Cause,
them
like,
as, I think that's fair to say as well.
Jenna, yeah, because, like, Pokke was, like, being practically publicly scrutinized. Like, bro had fucking, like, people throwing stones at him, like, consistently. But Jenna is, like, he's kind of, like, I don't know, he's like the Dark Knight, bro. He's like undercover.
He's been shielded from criticism. Let's just
exactly.
say it how it is. He's
Either that or no one's even noticed.
Yeah, he's like a Protoss unit from StarCraft. Like he's never actually like he's taken a little bit of damage, but it's all like regenerated because of like all the cover he has. And it's just well. Now, let's just be real here. I don't think that there's a lot of people actively playing defense. Or there is a little bit, right? People are just bored. But I don't think it's... I don't think people are really buying into that one. It's... The people are just bored excuse definitely doesn't hit as hard as psychoanalyzing. But I guess this is also the other thing. I think because I was just right during my psychoanalysis, I don't think you can even use that. I don't think you can use that excuse either. I don't think the psychoanalysis one works anymore because I was correct the entire time.
When Techie, like, goes to someone to ask for a situation, right? And what's happening. That involves you, for example. And he goes to you to ask what is going on. Not for your side. If it's for your side, that's completely fair. But to ask you what exactly is going on, and then taking all of that as fact, that, like, to me, that pisses me off. Because then, like, you get a biased one-sided story.
One of the reasons for why Techie sometimes does that is reach out to me, is because when I covered one of the times, right, where Mr. Pokke and Tectone had an issue, I was very, very fair to Mr. Pokke. Tech watched like that entire 1 hour plus video where I looked at the stream, looked at all the stuff, did all of that. He like watched the entire thing, right? Because he was like, okay, that was just like a stressful time for him. He was like ending stream early and stuff.
Yeah.
And he himself said after watching my video, Saint, even though like him and Pokke have all this beef, he was pretty fair. He was very fair when breaking down Mr. Pokke's side of the situation, right? And In my first video covering the Jenazad drama, one of the issues with him painting this narrative that it's my viewers being toxic positive is the fact that when I covered that issue initially, the 7 out of 10 situation, right? I was very fair to Jenazad while I was covering it. Let me just play to you all the part of the that part of the video, and you'll see like how I was framing that part of the situation. And then naturally, when we get to his apology, I do get a little bit more spicy. That's because his apology was fucking bad, right?
Comments mad because I yapped during story. I don't care what they think. They're retarded. Curl bots are a waste of breath, bro. They're worthless.
Yeah, so some pretty aggressive wording over here, right? You hear stuff like this from a CC, right? And you have to assume that something pretty bad happened, right? That there must have been a response towards this CC that was out of line, and this is them responding back. That's a pretty objective coverage of the situation. I'm basically providing an excuse to him for why he's saying such vile shit by saying, really, the only explanation for this is that he got told some vile shit first.
I don't know how much it's happened, like what I said specifically, how much that's happened in the past, or like with who and what, but like just that idea pisses me off.
Well, this is the thing, Itoma. It's because I cover the issues like this. At least initially, you can say a little bit less as the drama keeps building up and the number of videos increases. Naturally, I'm gonna get more and more biased because I've kind of like made my conclusion on the situation by the time we get to like video 2 or 3. But at least the first one, when I'm introducing the drama to myself and then also my audience, I try to stay pretty fucking objective about it.
I think that's completely fair.
I think the issue's settled. Brother man has a lot of explaining to do, and I'm just gonna be real here. Clips like this,
They can keep harping about the whole thing, but then they're just literally proving everything I said was correct.
I just have a feeling of like exasperation hearing that. I feel like the natural response to hearing that, if you're updated on the situation, is to just have like an exhale. Like just...
Just a...
yeah. Like, it's just a sigh.
So,
Try this.
Honestly, completely fair.
There's just no response from Fob. He's like playing Uma. He's just playing. He's just talking. He's just mumbling about his Uma Musume. Get me out of the car, bro.
I think the 7 out of 10 meme was funny as fuck. I don't think people can be like, that meme was intrinsically horrendous, right? It's a funny, hey, fucking look, I look at this, I don't like it. Now, I personally don't, and I feel like you're the same way. Like, if people are gonna shit talk me, whether it's on Twitter, I mean, you've had threads made about you on Gotcha Police. I've had threads made about me on Gotcha Police, or whatever the fuck it's called now. Like, it is what it is, right? I don't think it's that deep. I do think his reaction to the initial thread was disproportionate, and then initially, before I saw all of these extra crazy clips, I do think the fucking community was kind of bugging out a little bit. But like, I do think we're now on day 7, day 8, and bringing it up on Fob's stream when we're in China, going into other people. And again, I like the guy. I fucks with him heavily. I really do. I fucks with you heavily too, but I do think this whole thing is just blown up to something that it didn't need to be. And I do think there is a lesson of accountability. Now, look, you don't like him. I'm not going to sit here and call him Enviosity or Atsu. I think those are just really bad human beings. So look, if you don't like him, that's fine. If you want to call him that, sure, but I'm not going to equate him to someone that level.
I was just gonna say, in defense of your personal impression of him, right? It would be crazy to assume that Jenna acts the same way to everyone else that he's acted to me, right? I don't think...
Very different experience.
I don't think that Jenna's relationships in the space involve him hating every person he meets from day one. That's just been his treatment of me. So it's kind of just like, I don't want people to go in and assume, right, that like a CC or like somebody is like a bad person because they happen to be friends with him or they're on like good terms with him. Because, well, this is the thing, right? They probably have a way different experience interacting with him and stuff. And unfortunately for me and my community, we've only seen him being a fucking dick. Unprompted, for no reason. And that's been the relationship. He's just been a dick for 7 months. That's the framing of it, right? I don't think he's a dick to everybody else he meets. So
No,
that's
yeah,
just,
of course.
So that's just like a little bit of context. Like you can apply that to Ethan, you can apply that to Cap, you can apply that to Itoma as well.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously, for whatever reason, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not going to sit here and quote unquote psychoanalyze the kid or whatever. But yeah, I don't know why he doesn't like you. I mean, there was a large period of time. I remember you were bugging out about like B-roll and shit, but character development, right? Things move on. So we go past this period of Saint being like the shitty snowman, right? So the accountability, like moving forward. And I do think this is a lesson to the whole space as a whole, as like, what we should kind of like low-key not be doing, the sense of accountability. Sometimes whether you have an ego or you don't have an ego, it's okay to just take a fucking L. And in this situation, I think it was super conflated with the rating. Again, I truly do believe it started off with the rating. But now I will also say this.
I don't think anyone disagrees with that take, that it all started with the rating.
Of
right?
course,
because
of course, yeah.
That meme was the first thing ever. I don't think anyone disagrees with that take, but the significance of the rating contributing to the overall
instantly.
situation, yeah, right. It has been extrapolated way beyond what the impact actually was, and then used as a scapegoat for the behavior.
For sure. Here's my one thing though. Low key, I don't really care if he doesn't pay attention to the story personally. Like I feel like that to me, I'm like, whatever. I don't really care.
That's the thing, right?
You know what I mean?
I feel like most people don't care about that either. It was a matter of, Jenna, maybe your rating doesn't make that much sense because you weren't paying attention to the story. So it's kind of like you rating the story. It's not even the rating number. It's the whole rating plus not paying attention. Again, right? It just fundamentally doesn't make that much sense. Where you're rating something that naturally would require your attention to rate it properly, and then you didn't pay the proper attention to it. Right? Not a big deal, right? Nothing too crazy. You just probably don't even have to address it at that point. Right? Just say, yeah, you weren't paying attention. Just do what fucking Tectone did. Just say, yeah, my bad, boys. Here's the reasons for why I wasn't paying attention. Just look at how any drama there was surrounding Tectone's rating disappeared within 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, or it also could have just been you know what? I don't really care if I don't care if I didn't pay attention. That's why I felt about it and just move on.
Yeah.
But I think the problem that we keep bringing it, like it could go either way. It doesn't even need to be, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention. It could be, I don't fucking care. And move on.
That
right?
too, right? Whatever. Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Move on.
I really, yeah. So I definitely get it from the perspective of watching it from other people's stream. At first, it's like, okay, I do think the community's fucking bugging. I mean, listen, the community does bug out, right? The crazy part of the communities, they all have them, and the woo community has it as well. I mean, it's no fucking exception.
And that's kind of like the issue, right? We're getting to the point where we're talking about like a constant that's in every single community, right? Every single community has got themselves like one part of it that happens to be like incredibly toxic, right? Simply due to the fact that, well, people spend money on the characters in this game, so that's going to lead to some crazy shit, right? Just sunk cost, all that, right? Highlighting that part, simply the fact that there's a toxic part of the community that exists, it's like talking about how like you need, like using the fact that you need humans to play basketball as like a critique against basketball. And then saying that it's like better than other sports, or like saying basketball is worse than other sports because you need humans to play it, when every other sport requires humans to play it. Just like how every gacha game community has a toxic part to it. And so it's like when that discussion kind of got like flipped over to there, I think that's another part that people were kind of just like raising eyebrows about, because like we started using like a constant. We just started using a constant that's in every single community, and then sort of like going from there as some form of like slight against the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think right now, to be honest with you, obviously, I think you agree. Everyone agrees. I was streaming, so I wasn't really here for the whole part of the cap discussion. I heard the Aethomist part.
Yeah,
I think this whole thing just turned into something it didn't need to be, and I'm thinking about what we're doing right now, right? We're sitting down, we're having a conversation in front of the community, but like I don't necessarily even really feel bad because this is something that happened on the other side with Jenna sitting in the car with Fob and like talking in Tectone's chat. Like again, I fucks with the kid, I fucks with them, I do fucks with the guy, but it's like this shit is just like, it's just goofy at this point. It's like, why do we keep bringing it up? Like I don't understand. Just let it die down. I low key feel like after the conversation you and Tectone had, it would have died. It would have just died.
Yeah,
it would have been over. And whether you agree with him, you don't agree with him, whatever the case, doesn't even matter. Just think it's like, all right, like, what are we doing?
I think
What are
the
we doing
thing
now?
is that I definitely reignited it because I was just pissed off when I found out, like, the truth behind the matter in the analytics over here. Like, when I found out that bro could not have even had the analytics to be even accurately making these claims in other people's chats. Do recall, right? We just took a shit on Yuki for spreading misinfo to 10k plus people. Jenna did the same thing. Because this is in Tectone's chat, which is cross-streamed to Kick, YouTube, and Twitch.
Yeah, a bunch of people. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is what we're spamming to that many viewers. When I found out that he didn't even have any of the info, and he's making declarative statements like this, he couldn't have even had the info to be making this claim. I'm not gonna lie, brother. I was mad. I was
Yeah, no,
upset.
I mean, I get that.
I
get that. I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when you got banned, right? Again, I don't agree with everything you say or do. It doesn't really matter. Like, we're adults. But when you got banned, and let's just call a spade, I had a conversation with Pokke about it on his stream, but him going around parading it. What I say? Like, hey, that's bitch made. I think it's weird. I think it's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
I think that's just weirdo behavior. I straight up, it doesn't matter who's doing it. It's just unfortunate. Just it's a shitty situation, man.
But the craziest thing about that is that my CCV has like essentially doubled since the ban. Because I started YouTube streaming as a result of it.
Yeah, I mean, you took a W on that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
That stream getting banned essentially has doubled my CCV moving forward. Just like
honestly, you should probably...
Same thing for Tectone too, to be honest. Same thing for Tech too. Because he got banned and then started streaming on YouTube. So it's kind of...
You should get banned again, because that was a good week for us. I'm not gonna lie. The second you got banned, we had like 700 people in each chat. I was like, "Oh, what happened?" You know. So if you want to do something again,
if you try to do something again, just let me know.
Hey.
Let me take the week off work.
bro, I could show you the meme that got me banned, and then after that, you could put it on stream.
Hey, get that shit away from me, bro. I timed out one of my subs for like 30 minutes because he sent it. He sent it and without labeling it.
Bro, I literally put that up on the screen. I said, guys, I'm gonna go take a piss. Here's the Zenless on Zero's community gaming setup, and I walked away. I guess someone must have been upset because then they reported me. I was like, ooh. You're probably just gonna keep like farming him, I assume, right?
Probably, yeah.
Going forward.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but I do think most of it is out there. I would say that my video over here that I uploaded yesterday night, right? I would say my video right here. Oh, not the worst drama in Gacha history. You can't criticize Wuwa. I think that pretty much like sums up the entire situation. I think I mentioned this to like Cap and Itoma, but maybe you didn't hear that part because you were running your own stream. I got basically over 100 subs from this one video, when normally my vids that are getting like 30 to 40k are getting me like 20-30 subs, right? And so I view the fact that there are so many people subbing to me after watching this vid that I think it really just highlights exactly how I've been feeling, exactly what the issues are, and my personal grievances with the guy and the whole situation, right? And I think the thing is that it's gotten to a point where if you watch the video and then you see all of the glue that's in there, you're kind of just like, yeah, there's not really much we can say. There's not much we can really say to help the guy out anymore at this point. This is just, it kind of just doesn't make any sense at all.
No, I definitely get it.
To me, it's a matter of how's the guy going to respond? And I think we got the answer to that.
They can keep harping about the whole thing, but then they're just...
Yeah, I mean, I just wish it wasn't like this, but it is what it is. I can't control bro's reaction.
This is the unfortunate part. I don't think the rest of the community is going to be privy to the interactions that you and Jenazad, or Jenazad with really anybody else in the space, is going to have. And I think one thing that's going to result from this that I think is going to be unfortunate for a lot of people that have those relationships with him is that it's just going to happen, right? People are going to call into question why the relationships are good. When all you see is just all this bad, and all the bad is like so public, and none of the good when it comes to this guy seems to be public, because I'm not going to lie, I don't ever really see anything good about him, and like it's just people saying that he's a good guy. But then all the actions kind of like point to the contrary.
I mean,
I hope you guys are able to deal with that and not have it cause too many issues for you.
well, look, I mean, I'm not going to have an issue. Like, if someone doesn't like me after having this conversation, I mean, it is what it is. Like, if Jenna or if his viewers don't like me, it's not like I'm saying anything horrendous, right? I'm literally talking about the fact that at the end of the day, this shouldn't have happened, and all bro had to do was just take accountability and not overblow
this
it.
This is the thing, right? I've been hated for absolutely no reason. So let's just hopefully you fare better.
Obviously, I've had nothing but positive interactions with him. I don't think he's like, again, I really don't think bro is like the devil. But I get why you, like, the shit he does to you is weird. That shit is absolutely weird. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand it, right? Like, if it was happening 7 months ago, I understand it because you were kind of aggressive at points. It's like, all right, whatever, sure. But now at this point, it feels like a grudge that was never just let go. So that part to me is what is like, I don't know what's happening here.
Even if he might have been slightly justified just from seeing like outward behavior, it's like bro never gave me a chance, right?
No, yeah, I agree.
Bro was aggro as of day one to the point where it's sort of just like we had never even had like a civil conversation before because bro has always had a bone to pick from the start. Who's worse, Pokke or Jenna? I think I've already said it. At least when it comes to Pokke and Pokke being upset, I at least can figure out the reason for why Pokke might be mad. Pokke was making some dog shit takes, right? But then I called him out for his takes being bad, right? So I could understand he's upset with me because I called him out for his bad takes. No matter how justified I am, the fact that I called him out, in my opinion, makes sense to me for why he might not be happy with me, right? But for Jenna, I never did anything to him and he's mad at me. So I'm just gonna, like, to me, that's just worse. Because now you're getting mad at me and nobody knows why. And it's just, you just seem upset and mad over something. And so on my end, it's like, I get the take that somebody's upset with me. And I'm just gonna be real here, right? When people are upset with me, one of the things that I personally think is helpful, and probably most people can think it's helpful as well, is figure out why somebody is mad so that I can fix something or change it, right? So, you know, we can like smooth it over and they're not upset with me anymore. It's a frustrating experience on my end for somebody to be mad at me. I don't know the reason, and then they keep just being a dick. Because I'm just like, what did I do wrong? What could I do differently? I have no answers to any of these questions, and this guy is like basically a coworker in the space who's just still, all this time, just still so mad. That's why I view Jenna as worse. Because I can at least know that I've done things to warrant Mr. Pokke's anger. For Jenna, I got no reason why. And this is the thing, right? Let's just be entirely honest here. There's a reason why people are calling Jenna Atsu Light. Because in a similar way, and I don't want to bring any CCs in, I'm just drawing a comparison, right? Remember how Brax had a similar sort of situation where he felt that Atsu was upset with him for no reason, and he never knew why.
Yeah, no,
never could do anything to fix it, and that's led to stuff like Brax not getting invited to certain things, not being able to collaborate with certain people. And now I'm in a situation where a guy's been mad at me since day one. I don't know the reason why. And now he's going ahead and actively excluding me from things because he doesn't like me. And I don't know why. I can't blame anybody for drawing parallels to this situation and Atsu.
For sure. Listen, if someone told me, hey, listen, I'm not going to watch him anymore, I'd be like, I get it. Right? I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh my God. Like, what? Like, I don't care. Like, you know, we're all grown men. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You're an adult. So I definitely understand the comparisons and I get it. I haven't been on the receiving end of it, obviously, the way you've been on the receiving end of it. I just wish as a whole the space had more people like you, me, Cap, etc. I mean, we've all argued on stream, off stream, and then we squash. And I mean, you know, Athoma was being like an aggressive little fucking, you know, TikTok brain kid, and then he got into a call with you and everything was fine 5 seconds later, right? At least he came off aggressive. And so I just wish that this would be more of a normalized thing where we could all just have open conversations. And to me, I guess the part that it is frustrating, or at least sad to see, it's like, I fucking want to fucking root for you, brother. Not you, but like, I want this guy to like fucking not get all this hate, but also it's like, it's just self-inflicted wounds. It's like an AoE taunt that is just like, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. The whole proving the community right shit, it's like, dude, you're literally in China on a stream with thousands of people having fun. We should be talking about how apparently Curlfest was mid as fuck. That's what we should talk about. Like, instead,
it's a piece
where you're
of
having
shit.
a conversation.
Curlfest is mid as fuck. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, bro. Like, I heard it was whack. I mean, at least there was nothing new. I was like, all right, whatever. But it's like, this is to me, I think the bigger problem in the space, and unfortunately, it is happening with someone that people like, including myself, who I like, which I think makes it harder. And it's like, fuck. But I mean, when you lay everything out again at the beginning, it's like, all right, I can kind of see the community being cringe. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, all right, he didn't pay attention. But now it's like, no, kill yourself. Now, I will be fair. I would be 1000% fair when I saw that in Minecraft, I saw that and I giggled. I giggled because like I find shit like that funny. Like he was just crashing out. I was like, all right, whatever. It's not the biggest deal in the world. But then I could understand the other part of the community. But at the same time, you know, I feel like everyone got taunted by that, and it was like, what did he say? What was it? What did he say? Corobots? Did he say all Corobots? Did he say all?
He said, this is a direct quote. He said, Corobots are retarded. They are a waste of breath. And then he said they're too stupid to live, among a bunch of other insults. And then ended it with, I'm a person that spends more money, I play the game more, and I'm getting invited to Curlfest, so fuck them.
The envy thing, yeah. I mean, I think I will say, though, I don't know. I find it funny, but on the other end of it, obviously, if you're a part of a community and you're hearing that, you would be mad. I guess I just personally wouldn't take it that deep, but it is what it is.
I guess the thing is, when I was reacting to it, I wasn't even upset. I don't even think my chat was upset. I was kind of just like, wow, this is crazy. What happened?
You think his personal 9/11 happened.
Exactly,
and then, but you look at the meme, and then you look at the... some of the comments were a little... were inflammatory, for sure. Like,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
But I don't think...
Are we talking about the clapped walnut one?
No. Like some of the people on Twitter, like the one thing that I thought was very cringe was, but this was a one guy situation. This is where he got one guide. That person was trying to use him going into Glaive's chat as a, I got you. He's a toxic piece of shit. He should go fuck off. Right? That's cringe.
Oh,
that's fucking cringe.
That's the thing.
And I'm sure you agree with that.
That
right?
thing got mentioned. People were like, "This is clearly reaching. This is some bullshit." Washed away, gone. Out of the public, that's what happens. I think that example being immediately shut down, never referenced again, never in a video, except when Glaive addresses it himself. I think that's just kind of like proof of like how the community actually does self-police, and they take the fake criticisms or like the fake points, sniff them out, and then kind of like end them there. That's the thing, is that it was in and out, not made a big deal of it all. And the thing is that when I'm going through my video and I'm just trying to like, you know, with the fascination of what's going on, just like sniff out what is happening, we're just sort of like, well, it's all because of YouTube comments. And then the YouTube comments aren't even crazy, bro. Because bro is literally, during his crash out, talking about Kurobots are retarded, I don't read comments. And so it's kind of like, well, you're basically declaring that there are Kurobots in your comment section. Then we look at the comments, see how crazy they are. And the worst one is a clap CC with the attention span of a walnut.
That's crazy. Also, someone said it's not 9/11 in game, it's 7/11. That's fucking crazy. That's a crazy thing to say.
7/11.
That's fucking... or 7 out of 10, I'm sorry. Well, fuck.
His personal 7-Eleven.
Oh my fuck you. Let me ask you a question. I saw the apology video. Obviously, the first 12 minutes. Again, this is where I think the apology video, he seemed to me like, all right, I scripted this. I think he tried to be a little quirky with it. It didn't really land. The first like 10, 11 minutes were kind of just ass. Do you think this would have stopped after the initial apology video?
I think that if his apology video wasn't a steaming pile of dog shit, it would have probably been over.
Well, no. Even if it would, even let's not change it. It's the way it is, right? It's whatever. You cover it. You shit on it. Whatever. If nothing is mentioned again, do you think this is over? Because I personally think, in my mind, the way I see the events is drops the apology video. It has a negative reaction. I understand the negative reaction. I'm trying my best to have good faith with it. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. But then I see him fucking say the shit again. Oh, the community's proving me right. It's Saint's fault. I have the YouTube analytics to provide it. That, to me, is what I think drove this to the other level. So I think if it would have stopped there, I personally think would have been done.
If this dude could somehow find a way to keep his hands off the fucking keyboard in other people's Twitch chats, yeah, this would not have I would not have made this video if he wasn't typing shit in people's chats. I think the last video I would have made on the matter is a reaction to Glaive's vid. That's probably the last video I would have made. This was done only because Jenna was going ahead and just lying about his analytics to try to blame me for stuff. It was okay, you wanted to make some retarded actions? Here are the consequences. This might be the most glue I've ever brought to a video before. I don't think you can watch this and then say that I'm wrong, because I was kind of just fucking done at this point. I was just finished. I was just finished with the entire thing. The guy has kind of just, he's pushed the envelope a little bit too much. Let's just say that. CN video when? CN video is going to be coming out later tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now it's in fucking CN, bro, which is crazy.
Yeah. And I think this is the thing with, it's so cut and paste where the fault lies in this situation that CN, their overwhelming response is, this guy fucked up. Like, they're all saying stuff like, he could have just made a way smaller apology. He could have just addressed the issue immediately and then, like, dealt with it. It's just, there were so many different ways. There were so many different ways for this to be handled. Even CN recognizes it well. And they just have, like, the same exact take that the majority of this community in global is having. Like, this might be the most unified thing the CN and the EN Wuwa community. This might be the one thing we've been the most unified with.
Please,
CN is calling
wrong.
him Walnut now? No way. No way CN's calling him a Walnut too. That's crazy.
It's unfortunate stuff, man. All this started, well, it didn't start on the fucking anniversary Gotcha cast, but it definitely, that was a part of it, I think.
It all started on the very first Gotcha cast that I was on in December of last year. I think we see Misery. I think I saw a chat from Misery K98. He was asking what about the PGR misinfo. So I actually directly went over what misinfo Jenna was spreading. He was saying some shit about like how PGR's endgame was so much better than Wuthering Waves' because of XYZ things, and that like Kuro was like fucking up with Wuwa because they already know how to do it well in PGR. And so the fact that that PGR had all these like great things and Wuwa didn't, he was saying like Kuro was fucking up, right? And the examples that he used was like listing off numerous endgame modes in PGR and saying they didn't have a time limit. And that was why Wuwa's was trash. And then all the endgame modes he listed out literally had fucking time limits. So it was like, bro was just straight up creating fan fiction about PGR just to invalidate the critiques that I was making. And I found out afterwards, and like, let's just be honest here, I was not very happy with that. I was just like, okay, was bro just like lying? Was bro just like making shit up the entire fucking call just to like win this argument with the guy he met for the first time?
Yeah, I get why you wouldn't have like a benefit of the doubt in that situation. I understand it.
Well,
I mean, even the fucking Gotcha cast. I mean, if you go pull it up, I interrupted you and Jenna because it was getting fucking annoying, just the dumb arguing over the stupidest shit. That Gotcha cast was a little bit of a fucking shit show. Where like you guys were just going back and forth because like he was like wait about something about waiting. I will say the anniversary was ass. He was low key right about the anniversary though. Like 2.4 was good, but 2.3 was buns. I'm gonna keep it a stack.
okay,
But yeah.
Okay, so when it came to the anniversary, I'm not gonna lie. I think the patch was just dry, but you actually got a lot of pulls.
No, for sure.
And-
Hey, listen, 2.3 was dry. 2.4 was great. 2.4 I think is their second best patch.
Oh, for
this
sure,
patch, other than the story, is like I can't do anything. This next patch might be a fucking banger, right?
But this is the thing, right? Even when we go back to the anniversary drama, the take was, this anniversary is better if they have more pulls. That alone makes the anniversary better. But then you look at how many pulls the anniversary gave, it was like over 100 something. So like, it is still, for the content that was in the patch that you actually had to do, it probably has like the highest pulls to like event ratio in the game. At least on that patch, because let's be real, right? Not a huge amount to do in 2.3, but over 100 fucking pulls. While I think on this active patch, right, there's clearly not as much to do because it's a bit of a smaller patch and there's not as many pulls as the anniversary. So I think that's just like that alone, like that discussion over there. I can see where you're saying like, yeah, makes sense what he was saying. It's a fair take from his end. But I think when you're focusing entirely on like the rewards piece and using that as like a way to say the anniversary was bad, I'm all for saying the anniversary was bad because it was like a little bit boring and there weren't that many events. But if you're going to say the Wuwa anniversary is bad because of a lack of rewards or a lack of pulls, I think you're actually just wrong.
They gave out more pulls.
Yeah.
They gave out more pulls after we had that podcast. I think they announced like another 20, was it? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, man. I do think everyone, whether you're a content creator in chat, whether you're a chatter in general, I think everyone should just walk away learning that we should have accountability in situations, and like ego explosions happen. Everyone crashes out at chat. We all do it. I fucking do it. Everyone does it. At the same time, though, sometimes things are just not that deep. And instead of having an emotional response to X Twitter thread or a couple comments or some shit, just take a sit back and be like, am I lost in the sauce right now? Because you'll see most of the time, a lot of times you are lost in the sauce and it's not that deep.
I think what content creators, I think you're entirely correct. And what content creators should really recognize is that being able to say sorry is not a skill that everybody has. We've clearly seen it demonstrated live that being able to say sorry is not something a lot of people can do. But the sooner that you are able to actually do it, take accountability, recognize wrongdoing, the sooner you're able to fix certain things, certain behavior, all of that, right? But for that to happen, you have to recognize that something wrong was done. And I think, unfortunately, in this situation, based off the stuff that Jen is still saying, even today, I don't think he actually has rationalized the idea that he has actually done something wrong here. Because he's still saying he's right. He's still saying he's right, and I think he'll keep saying that he's right for the ongoing future. And he's just happy to chill in his own echo chamber until probably the end of time at this point. Because I think what a lot of people need to recognize, especially CCs, is that when you think you're literally always right, you never apologize, you're going to cultivate a community that has your same line of retarded reasoning when you clearly are wrong. And that's just going to create an echo chamber where people are going to be like, okay, well, clearly he did something fucked up, but he's not saying it. I go into this community, I look inside, and it's like everyone's like fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking insane. Would my last thing before I dip out, because I think we've had a pretty good conversation over. I feel like everyone knows how I feel. Obviously, they know how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever, and maybe you answered this already, I really don't know.
Yeah.
Would you ever move on if he came to you and squashed the beef?
Ironically enough, you remember how he dismantled my apology? Hyperanalyzed the fuck out of it? With statements like, he was forced into this one. It's not genuine because he was forced into this one. Can't I just use that same exact reasoning against him? I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be really hard not to just repeat the same exact things that he said about my apology right back to him. It's gonna be really hard not to do that. Because in this situation, he will actually have been forced into it. Because what he's done is so indefensible. And there's just there's literally no leg for him to stand on over here. And for him to only say sorry now, to me, actually means very, very, very little. Because he's had 7 months, numerous opportunities to do it, and his behavior. You look at the way that Jenna and I have interacted with each other. Look at the input to output in this scenario. And unfortunately, because there's been a lot of like massaging being done behind the scenes by CC friends, a lot of what he said and done has been minimized, right? But now that I've released that video, it's all coming to light, and you see the entire track record played out without CCs coming in to defend him during the process. I think you can just look at the comparison between how we've treated each other, and it's like just overwhelmingly Jenazad just having a bone to pick with me for no reason. And at that point, when he hasn't apologized properly for 7 months, he hasn't taken accountability at all this entire time. Let's just be real here, right? How much value can I actually put into an apology that he makes? And the answer is, unfortunately, not that much, because he's had 7 months to make one.
You know, I mean, I think if that happened tomorrow and you pulled the same thing he did and, you know, hyperanalyzed it, like if someone came to me and said, Saint doesn't accept the apology, I'm not going to be mad about it. Like, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's bad. The only thing I can rationalize in my mind, just thinking now quickly about why he would possibly crash out this hard about the situation, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just trying to think from his perspective.
Whoa. Ethan. You gotta slow down, buddy. I just want to give a disclaimer. I hope you know that because you're talking about Jenazad, you too, just like Itoma, will be accused of psychoanalyzing. I hope
Well-
you're prepared for that label. Because that, once
Bro.
again, whenever you talk about Jenazad, the word psychoanalyzing comes out in defense of him. Remember that. Remember that. I just hope you know. I just hope you know.
Fuck them. I got a meme waiting for them if they come at me. The only thing I could think of and maybe why he really went off that hard is maybe he has some sort of I want to say, I don't know if anger would be the word, but maybe resentment towards the community, because I feel like didn't something happen prior to the anniversary, or was it just the anniversary where it was very split? I believe a lot of the community was like, yo, the fucking guy pegs. Wasn't a lot of the community like, oh my God, he's the only one who's fucking speaking up against the predatory gotcha company? But then there was a lot of people saying, why is he so negative? But didn't something else happen where they tried to cancel him, or am I misremembering? Oh, the Maggie shit. I'm not defending it, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the only thing I could think of is maybe he's just kind of tired of the community because he might have received backlash from some loud voices.
Oh.
Whether I agree with or disagree with is different.
This is the thing. He was 1,000,000% defending the fuck out of Maggie. I'm not gonna go in and like analyze the situation. Anyone that saw that shit is just gonna tell you.
No, I remember.
He was defending. He was defending the fuck out of Maggie, and that's why his crash out table slam occurred, because he was like trying to give her the benefit of the doubt via the NDA thing, and then like chat was just like obviously not happy with her, right? Because she broke NDA, all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember our call.
And then he started supporting the shit out of her. And, like, let's just be honest here, right? Getting that mad over beef that you're not involved in is crazy. Omega gay? Like, it's... Right?
I mean,
it's just like, why defend in that situation? Why not just talk about what's going on? And then why also get that mad about it? It's a little weird, right? I can understand that he's upset, but it's also like, what is he doing, bro? Defending Maggie for some unknown reason. Then you got the multiversal theory. And then you got the anniversary thing as well. The anniversary one was one that I had some beef with, because once again, you can just rewatch, or you can rewatch like the anniversary gotcha cast. Once again, right? Bro is jumping in when I've just made a very loose point, right? I would just say something. Bro is out there, fucking, oh, Saint said something, locked in, right? Boom, right? It's just...
Yeah, I think it was something about like us waiting for content, because I think I said something similar.
I remember what I
just want to
said.
wait.
I was like, hey, before we judge, literally what I said was, before we judge how bad the rewards are, what if we just wait and see what the total pulls are for each of the events? And then it actually turned out that they gave a fuck ton of pulls for some of the specific events. Like, double what an event of that size would give in previous patches. We got like a fucking 1,600 for like one of the permanent... We don't get 1,600 pulls or 1,600 asteroid for any event in the game. But that was just coming from an event, right? And so when I said, oh, can't we just like, before we go ahead and like write off all these rewards and say all the rewards for the patch are bad, why don't we just wait and see what the final numbers are when the details come out? And then this bro started getting on me about like how I was talking about like theoreticals, and like, when isn't simply discussing the rewards in the first place without seeing the numbers, that's just a theoretical on its own. And then I just hear this dude continuing to just try and like discredit every single thing that I'm saying. And at that point, I was just like fucking annoyed, and so I kept referencing his stupid ass and the stupid shit he was saying on that one gotcha cast, and I referenced it in at least 2 or 3 videos when I was covering how some of the rewards were actually fucking massive for some of the events. And be like, yeah, maybe we should have waited. Maybe we should have waited to see. It's only against me. And it's on every single gotcha cast. He's so thirsty for a W against me. Even, like, he's turning non-combative situations into, like, a PvP event, because he's that desperate for a W.
I think that comes from the old thing, like, a couple months ago, when, like, everyone was trying to PvP you. Like, it was literally the 2 or 3 weeks where you're just 1v1ing everyone, or 1v4ing.
I think this is the unfortunate part, right? We all remember the first gotcha cast that I was on, right? Jenna, Fob, whoever else was on it, was so aggressive that they considered that call to be a 1v3 or 1v4, and I won, right? That was like the perception.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
You're asking me if you won?
Yeah. That was
no, I think you did a good job.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think you won overall, yeah.
Yeah, that was the perception from that call. And I'm not gonna lie. When you know the ego on this fucking dude, being told that you got 3v1'd by a CC who has about 1/5 of your tenure, probably fucking destroyed his ego into fucking oblivion.
Well, it's cursed because it was worse because you were a VTuber, and everyone hates VTubers. That made it worse.
That too, right?
That definitely
VTuber only making
fucking-
content for 6 months. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I guess I'm gonna be accused of psychoanalyzing again. When you know how big this motherfucking ego is, how do you think he gonna react to being told he lost a 3v1 to somebody like me? He probably pissed. He's probably still pissed, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. And the thing is, well, if we're gonna get that mad about stuff like that, what can I do? I'm merely doing things that aren't an issue, and somebody is reacting to them and then getting upset. What can I do about it?
No, yeah, this makes me want to talk to him because look, when you think about it and you lay it out, right? It is a very passive aggressive one-sided beef, right? Where it's just like the meme of the person with the stick poking, right? And you're just gonna get him poked. And I am curious at this point of like what the fuck is what's the deal? I don't know how the community would react.
We're all wondering. That is the big question in 2025. Why did Jenna hate me? And why has he hated me since day one? Nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody knows the answer.
It's also just like, to be honest with you, it's very easy to just talk. I mean, like, how many times have we had arguments? We've had a couple arguments, and the first time we met was an argument. I said sorry because I was wrong. It's like, it is what it is. It's like, I don't know. It's just unfortunate, man. It's really sad. It is sad to see. But listen, at the end of the day, I think you're a fucking fraud because you won't play Genshin Impact.
Hey, go fuck
balls.
yourself, buddy. Go enjoy your lunar bloom, your lunar charge, your fucking lunar shatter. Go fucking. Why don't you just go to the moon yourself, buddy? Why don't you just go play?
Well,
Genshin
hold on.
There?
Stygian Onslaught. We need the whales need to have something. Okay. So please put some fucking respect on my name,
bro.
We need something.
I took a C6 character into Stygian Onslaught, and I did not make it past 20% of the boss's health bar.
I know. My friend, she has a $4,000 team. She can't get the skins. She has a $4,000 team from one of the bosses. She can't get the skins.
I couldn't clear Fearless mode. I didn't even make it to the one where you can unlock the skins. I couldn't make it to Fearless mode. With my C6 characters. So the game's cooked. But hey, listen, man, Notcry's coming, Notcry's coming, so we'll see what happens. Hey. Gimme, save the game. Yeah, can't wait for all the lunar reactions required to kill all the new bosses because that fucking cactus ain't dying if you ain't got a Nefa. It is what it is. Yeah. Right?
Oh, actually, wait, hold on. One last thing, and then I'm legitimately gone. Yeah. I remember I was lurking the other day. You said something. I don't know if you were talking to Tectone or something, but I remember you said you would watch other CCs kind of like defend him. And I just want to ask you this because I remember you brought up my name and Athoma. Was there anything that I might have said that frustrated you? Or
no, I think I was just referring to like CCs in general.
We're cool with them.
Yeah. No, this is the thing.
I got
right?
you.
I literally said afterwards, it ain't that deep, right? Because, right, I can understand inherently that me asking somebody to come out of the woodworks when there's already, or woodworks in support of my takes, when there's already been like this underlying narrative that like, oh, I've been completely invalidated because of this whole psychoanalyzation situation. I'm not gonna blame my CC friends for not getting involved in that because the well's already been poisoned, right, by all the defense that's happened. And in this situation, I think a lot more people are simply coming out and more curious. I think there's a reason why, people are coming out ready to ask questions and hopefully search for some answers because they can't play that defense anymore. They can't just wash away the bad stuff that's happening by just giving some blanket excuse like psychoanalyzing. And now I don't think it's a coincidence that there are so many CCs coming out of the woodworks to cover this issue.
Yeah,
right?
No, I mean, yeah.
This is the thing, right? I think there's a reason why Glaive is covering it. I think there's a reason why Cosmos made a skit on it. I think there's a reason why you, Itoma, Cap were willing to get on call to discuss the issue, right? I'm not going to blame somebody for not willing to have done that in the past because the well already got poisoned by the amount of defense that's going on. And right now, there's no leg to stand on for any potential defense. People are trying to run with this narrative, right?
People dead ass are just getting so fucking bored, man.
People have been bored, yeah.
Right? Now they're saying, oh, what Jen is doing is not actually that bad. People are just bored, right? And the thing is, nobody buys that excuse, unfortunately. It doesn't work. Because you could just use this, because it's just, what he's done is so egregious that you could just use the same excuse for him. Jenna, we know you're bored, but that doesn't mean that you can just go ahead and start screaming at your audience to go do something in Minecraft. I've gotten everything that I've wanted out of this situation. I've been able to kind of like speak my truth and speak my piece that I feel like I wasn't able to before several months ago. And the thing is, people know I'm consistent. People know that my take hasn't changed. It's the same exact take, the same exact reasoning, the same exact critiques that I made 4 months ago. I am merely reiterating all of them after he's crashed out again. To try to wash away all of this history and all the glue that I have provided by simply saying people are bored, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to work, unfortunately. And so now I think that it's kind of just like open field for people to air certain grievances that they might have. Because I'm not going to lie, I don't think a lot of people saw this. Let me pull out something from one of my glue folders.
Or as a folder of glue. EO ruined this, man.
Do you guys remember when Glaive made a video about Jenazad? It was regarding like the minigame matter. And the thing is while Techie was reacting to it, this was the shit that Jenna was saying in Tectone's chat during Glaive's react. And I'm going to be honest, my take has been, if I was Glaive, I would still be mad at him.
What was this video about?
Glaive was simply making a critique video about Jenazad's take on minigames. Because Jenazad was saying that they're like a waste of time, like developer resources are like full of shit, all of that. This is like the stuff that he's saying about it. Because it happens to be slightly critical about Jenazad. I reacted to that video and there was nothing really wrong with it.
I might have to rewatch that. I genuinely don't remember this, but I mean, clearly it happened.
What's wrong with that?
Wait, did someone say what's wrong with that?
It's Knack. Well, he's an intentional rage baiter.
Look, here's the deal. I don't think everyone's as forward as someone like Saint or myself or Tech, where it's like, if I have a problem, I'm just going to ask you, hey, let's address this. That's like saying if Saint's saying something on stream, right? And let's say I don't agree with it. I'm not going to purposely go into his chat and try to argue with him to throw his chat, because that's like his stream, that's his show, that's his deal, right? I'll talk to him afterwards if I felt like he said something like maybe wrong about me, or if something I really disagree with. It's gotcha, so I don't really give a fuck that much, right? It just feels like when you do this in like a person's chat, when you're a verified user, you're a VIP, it just looks a little weird. It's like, okay, listen, you might feel this way, fine, but I feel like the better way to do something like this is let's message Glaive, or hey, let me respond to Glaive, as opposed to like going to someone's chat and be like, this is trash, this is garbage.
This is the other thing, is that this was in the middle of Tectone reacting to it. And so, regardless of what you want to say, the well for Tectone is getting poisoned by Jenazad during the react, because now Tech can't, I'm not saying he's not able to, but it's like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for him to, he can't really formulate his own take because Jenna's coming in to make a take for him. Like, bro sending some fucking essays, man. And so, like, the goal, right, is to get, like, Tectones react to the situation, but we're getting, like, Jenna running in and just, like, making these crazy declarative statements about the vid. And so it's just, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it allowed for a, like, fair react to be done. And it's just like, well, I'm gonna be real with you, right? Just because you're the subject of it doesn't mean that, like, you gotta be doing this. And you wanna know what the worst part about this is? I don't think Glaive's video was bad at all. I think it was a fine video.
Let's just play devil's advocate for a moment. Even though the video might have had a little bit of bad faith, right? And I'm going to psychoanalyze, see it from Jenna's perspective of I need to defend myself. Sure, you could defend yourself, right? But again, I'm not even going to say that it won't necessarily allow Tectone to make his own reaction. But as we all know in the gacha space, a lot of people formulate opinions or just on the internet based off of other people. So maybe if a couple people were starting to agree with Glaive or something, like the overwhelming majority of his chat's going to be like, wait, Jenna shits on this. all right, let's fucking shit on this video as well, whether they like it or not. It's just weird, man. I do think that shit's a little weird. I do.
I think one thing we got to factor in is that the end result of this situation, kind of having your fucking, your Tectone React fucking commandeered like you're in the middle of Somalia. Glaive ended up apologizing to Jenazad afterwards. So imagine that this guy kind of just hijacked your React, poisoned the well, and then you say sorry to him afterwards too. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be fucking mad. I'd be furious to this day, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the conversation they had in DM, so I won't speak on that. But I do think, just as a whole, this isn't like a really great way to conduct yourself. Again, especially if you're a person in the space. Like, again, if I watch Tectone stream, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, pull me up, and like fucking debate him. I just think that shit's a little fucking weird to do, especially if you are a creator with a badge next to your name.
Yeah, this is,
or trying to sway opinions.
And this is the thing. It's crazy that there are people in here right now that think that this video by Glaive was like actually bad. This is a perfectly fine video. It's good. It's actually a good video. I reacted to it. It's a solid one. I liked the content that was being covered. He made very good points. And the thing is that Jenna, because he cannot take any criticism at all, managed to shift the narrative on this video to actually be like some sort of attack against him, when it was merely taking his dog shit take on minigames and simply pointing out why it's a little bit, it's a little bit not that great overall for the health of the game. And it's a fair video. And the thing is just imagine, like, you don't do anything wrong and you have to end up saying sorry afterwards. And I think, like, I think that more people should probably get some context about this situation, to be honest. I think that this one kind of got swept under the rug, much like how a lot of the things that Jenna's done in the past year has been swept under the rug. Because I don't think a lot of people know about this. The lightest criticism ever in a video that's mostly actually about the features that are being described, right? Oh boy, we gotta start going in and just, like, getting really upset about it. It's just another piece of evidence, right, for the situation. But the thing is, I never actually put it into a video because, of course, right, it involves Glaive. And I never put it into any of the actual addresses. And I'm only, saying how I would feel if I was in this situation. And let me just say, if I was Glaive, I would still be mad. And I feel like it's a fair thing to say about the reaction of many people. I think a lot of chatters in here, if this happened to them, they would also be mad as well. And you want to know the worst part is? I don't think Glaive really had an option other than to apologize because of the amount of support that this guy was getting. Because he was getting a lot of support from a lot of, the community and stuff like that. The Golden Boy, y'all remember that? And so I think that Glaive really had no choice but to say sorry, unfortunately. But that's like, it's crazy how different everything seems in context now, isn't it? It's crazy how much different everything seems in context. And one thing that I'll say about the entire matter is that I feel like I've been genuine the entire time. I think that a lot of people have been genuine the entire time. I think that Jenna has to be, at least from what I've seen, what I've experienced, and there are so many examples of it, he does seem to be one of the most disingenuous people in the space. And I would love to see otherwise, but I have never seen any reason to think differently. And I feel like it's fair for even some other creators, right? Maybe they, too, have never seen this good side, right? That everyone seems to be advertising and talking about. Glaive said he was too small of a CC at the time, so he wasn't able to address it in the way that he wanted. That was a lie. I don't know what the answer is. I'm just gonna say, if I was Glaive right now and I uploaded this video, this would be a gratifying moment for me. Considering the past history, if I was Glaive, this video would be like the chef's kiss for me. Glaive said on stream he doesn't care too much. Glaive's a little bit of a PR whore. Glaive's a little bit of a PR whore. Let's be honest over here.
I think the thing is, like, I'll speak from personal thing is I like the guy, so I'm trying my hardest to give him the most benefit of the doubt as possible. And I think a lot of people just don't want to I think a lot of people don't want to necessarily, I don't want to say acknowledge, but just like see, like, hey, some of this shit is just a little stinky. Like, it just is stinky. You know what I mean? It is fucking stinky, right? And that's coming from someone who like, dude, I watch the guy a bunch of times in the morning, like before work or like whatever. It's like I haven't had that experience, right? But like when you bring up like the Atsu stuff, like all right, like I get it. I definitely see your perspective, and I'm not going to invalidate it because if I was on the receiving end of that, I'd be a fucking total dickhead. I don't even necessarily disagree with that. But I do think a lot of big portion of the community wants to have that benefit of the doubt, and that's why it is such a different type of circumstance here, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah,
right.
And I guess sort of like the frustration on my end is that I feel like I've been documenting all of these times that the guy has been like an absolute like fucking asshole, right? Unprompted with no reason. And there's still like a lot of this benefit of the doubt getting thrown around. Not now, but there was. There was 4 months ago. And now we are at the point where that benefit of the doubt has evaporated. And this is the thing, right? Now we're actually able to start addressing everything that wasn't properly addressed before. Part of the reason why this keeps going on is because you can actually think of this as a little bit like World War II. And for history people out there, you might think I'm a little bit crazy. We know that Tectone's not going to get this part. But World War II only happened because like the residual impact from World War I was never properly addressed by like global governments and stuff like that, right? And so the fallout of World War I was so bad that it immediately led into the second one. And in this situation, it's because Jenna's actions were not properly addressed. They were not properly apologized for. They were not resolved correctly. And it's boiled over and spilled the next time there's been an opportunity to, because you didn't address it. We didn't, as a community, address this behavior properly in the past. And so now it's almost like we're getting like basically, this is like having like the crash out should have maybe been a 1x tacit field. It's evolved into a 2 to 3x tacit field because you're essentially getting all of like the loot and the rewards that should have been handed out 4 months ago. They're all like it's just all bundled up right here. And that's, it's an unfortunate part of the matter, but I do have to say this. It's also deserved because bro had no consequences, right? Bro had no consequences. Bro was able to get away scot-free with everything 4 months ago. I think it's fair to say he's now making payment with interest on the entire matter. So it's just, I think the situation is entirely deserved. And the funny thing about it, at least to me, is that it doesn't seem like it's going to end any soon. It's not going to end anytime soon, and it's entirely because of his own actions, which makes it even more poetic from my point of view.
Yeah, it's 07, man. It is what it is. I appreciate you, boys.
Yeah,
I hope you all have a good day.
Bad, bro.
I
I kept you on like for my rant. I bet you're just kind of like sitting there awkwardly, like, when is this guy gonna stop talking so I can say
No.
goodbye?
Listen. Look. I think it's very fair to speak your mind and speak your experience, whether someone likes you, doesn't like your perspective. At the end of the day, you have to be fair, right? I don't mind listening. I get it. I definitely, I can't say I understand it because it's not happening to me, but I get what you're saying. Like if you're going to be let's say I'll use mean language here. If you're going to be a bitter piece of shit towards this guy, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. Do I like him? Yeah, I fucks with him. I do. But unfortunately, he did some weird shit. And that, like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna fucking act like this, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, he's just drama farming again. It's like, this is clearly pent up over months and months and months. And clearly a lot of people are not really aware of it, including myself. I didn't think it was that deep. The only thing I truly remember was you guys on the fucking gotcha cast, because I told you both to shut up. I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck is happening? Like, why is he arguing right now? Right? So yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's 100% fair.
I like to think that I have a reason, or like, I want to like every person that I interact with, right? I just need a reason to like somebody. And in this situation, I have never been shown a single reason by Jenazad over 7 months to like him in any way. My viewers can attest to it. There's never been a single instance that's given me any reason at all. And I was still trying to be cordial with him for the longest time. I was still trying to at least be professional for the longest time. And I think I'm at this point, bro, I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna be honest, maybe we just take the entire stream today and put it on YouTube. We can call it My Trauma with Jenazad and just have this be like a 3-hour yap session with all these different CCs regarding the matter. Hey, I'll farm it again.
I'll copyright strike you though, so you know.
All
it's
you
whatever.
are is a fucking Discord profile picture. Shut up.
Oh, buddy, hold on.
That's
It's
your
my
presence
voice.
on my stream. A fucking Discord profile picture that lights.
All right, you know
that
what?
lights up.
Maybe you know what? Maybe you don't deserve to be on the Gotcha Cast, you fucking prick.
I kind of want to see what the reception's gonna be to another Gotcha Cast, except Jenazad is on it. I want to see what the comment section of that Gotcha Cast would look like. You remember the Mr. Pokke one, and everyone was like, "Why the fuck is Pokke here?"
Yeah. Me, and then it was we're saying. This is gonna be where's Jenna. Absolutely, yeah. It's gonna be the same shit, you know. Well, maybe not. Maybe for the first month it won't be because everyone's mad at him. But eventually, they're gonna get mad at someone else, and then you know people are gonna fucking be like, "Oh, where's Jenna?"
This is the
for
thing.
sure.
I don't think there's a lot of people to get mad at anymore. Like, my point of view is, after Gotcha Smack had like heard that like his wife was pregnant with the next kid, bro has mellowed out to such a high degree, it's crazy. Like, I've never seen Smack in such a like Jay chillin' mood than in like the past couple of months. Bro just
he's living
seems,
life.
Yeah. Bro just seems to like not really care about much at all.
Bro's living his fucking life. I don't know. They'll get mad at someone though. Someone will say something stupid and we'll all attack them because we're core robots.
Okay.
We stick together.
I mean, well.
I'm being a dick. Clearly,
we'll see.
I'm being a dick.
All right.
I'm being a dick.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
I know a lot of people are saying this was like today, and all the calls and chats today were like therapy for me. I'm going to be honest, right? If you're going to say it's therapy for me, I think it's been therapy for an entire part of the community. Because I'm going to be real with you here. I think it's fair to say that if you've had like certain opinions about Jenna, you've low-key been gaslit for like the past couple of months. Like told that you're psychoanalyzing, that, oh, it's not really that big of a deal. It's like a one-off situation. And now that like we're just going in and we're just covering everything, I feel like now it's like, I don't know what it is. It feels like a healing moment for the community. That's what it feels like right now. I feel like a lot of people have like been healed a little bit. I want the surrounding narrative regarding the situation, I wanted to transform into this. Why was bro mad at me in the first place? Why has bro been mad? Why is he still mad? What can anyone do to fix his mad? Because it's just like, yes, I want to be able to get along with people, right? But it's like, if I don't know why somebody's mad, what am I supposed to do? And like, they don't explain it, and they're just passive aggressive all the time for no reason. It's like we're in high school. Bro, like, we're both too old for this. Like, bro's older than me.